Breakfast Show, your morning companion. This is Ghana Talks Breakfast Show, your morning companion.
Ghana Talks Radio, number one.
Good morning to you, lovely listeners of Ghana Talks Radio. It's yet another beautiful morning, and you are welcome to the Ghana Talks Breakfast Show right here on Ghana Talks Radio. This is the news review, and here we bring you all the latest headlines making waves in the news, from business to politics, from sports to entertainment. We got you covered with the most relevant stories and informed perspectives on issues that matter to you every morning right here on the show. My name is Ruth Esenam Fiakbedu. Remember that we are streaming live on Facebook at Ghana Talks Radio, on YouTube at Ghana Talks Radio, and also on X at Ghana Talks Radio. Do all to log on, send in your comments. Let's get interactive right here on the morning show. Joining me in the studio this morning on the news review is Ms. Debbie Adolso and Ms. Regina Bless. Good morning to you, ladies, and you are welcome to the Ghana Talks Breakfast Show.
Good morning.
Happy New Month as well.
Thank you.
We are hoping for the best this month.
Exactly.
We are hoping that things go well for us. We are also praying and hoping that things go in our favor as well. Hope you are well, Miss Debbie.
Yeah, the grace is sufficient.
We thank God. Miss Regina,
Yeah.
how are you doing?
I'm good, your side.
I'm good. Yeah, a lot of things have happened over the weekend. So this morning, we are here to serve our people with what is happening. For our first story is actually the LGBTQ bill that has been passed by Parliament. This was passed on Friday. And there's been a lot of comment from the minority, from the majority, from legal practitioners, and even from the general public as well. But in all of that, let's look at what others are also saying. This is from the Akwatia MP. Anti-LGBTQ bill, Mahama won't play games with Ghanaians. The Member of Parliament for Akwatia, Bernard Bediako, has expressed confidence that President John Dramani Mahama was sent to the Human Sexual Rights and Family Values Bill 2025 if it is presented to him. The bill, commonly referred to as the Anti-LGBTQ bill, was passed by Parliament on May 29 and seeks to prohibit LGBTQ activities in Ghana, while also outlining exemptions for certain individuals and institutions. Speaking on the matter, Mr. Bediako said he does not believe any future legal challenges would prevent the president from taking action on the legislation. According to him, President Mahama has a significant opportunity to act on the bill after former President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo did not assent to the earlier version passed by Parliament in 2024. The Akwatia MP explained that the bill must first go through final drafting and technical processes before it is formally transmitted to the president. The legislation was initially passed by Parliament in 2024, but faced legal challenges at the Supreme Court over questions regarding its constitutionality and the process used for its passage. Critics of the bill argued that some provisions could conflict with constitutional rights, including freedom of expression, association, and equality before the law. Supporters, however, maintain that the bill reflects the culture and moral values of many Ghanaians and is necessary to protect family values. Following amendment, Parliament reconsidered and passed the bill again in May 2026. The next major step will be whether the president assents to the bill and whether any new legal challenges will emerge. How do you feel about the passage of the bill, Ms. Regina?
Okay, so I would say I'm excited, but not necessarily excited, because it's just the passage of the bill in Parliament and not automatically being signed. Yeah, so anything can go south, anything can go wrong. and I wouldn't know how many people would react, because the moment we heard of the news, a lot of people were very, very, very happy. And people said, finally, we can have peace. But some of the NPP members are not happy because of the amendment of the LGBTQ plus bill. But I would say, in a way, I'm also not happy, because looking at the amendment, let's say the issue of lawyers advocating for these people, it is not wrong in the sight of the law. But when you do that, automatically you are indirectly supporting these people. And I think they really need to look into that.
So what would you want them to change pertaining that particular?
No one should advocate for any LGBTQ plus people.
But everyone has a right to, you know.
Which right to what? If your mother and father had the right, will you sit here? Will you be here and be hosting? No, you will not. No one has the no one has the right to your friend is saying going for same sex.
So that means that, so according to the amendment, that means that if you are caught in such an act, you are not entitled to a lawyer, because the lawyer will also be caught, because that is you advocating for LGBT.
Is it a new one, or if they change it? If they change it, yes. But if they don't change it and they want to maintain this one, it means that the lawyer has the free will to advocate for any of these people,
so especially
the human rights lawyers. And they should change it. If you do that, you are automatically encouraging LGBTQ plus, which is wrong to me. Even so far as the Bible has spoken against it and destroyed some people because of this, then it means it is wrong, and we should in no way sugarcoat LGBTQ plus. No way should we sugarcoat it. So people also have the right to sleep with animals because they have the free will. No, you don't have the free will. In as much as you're in a country where democracy is being practiced, that doesn't mean that you go against that democracy. The democracy alone has a limit. If you say democracy, doesn't mean that I can just take a cutlass and just cut someone. It is wrong. I'm practicing democracy, but it is wrong. I would be apprehended and detained for that. So I think they really need to look into it. But aside that, I'm happy that they've taken the bold step to pass it again. Yeah.
Right. Ms. Debbie.
Yeah, so for me, I'm really, really excited, because I think for the past few months I've been speaking on this LGBTQ plus sort of a thing, and the passing of the bill is not anything new, because it was passed in 2024 by the previous administration, but Akufo-Addo couldn't assent to it to be passed into law. So this also being passed in Parliament. For me, I feel like there is hope, because if this is being passed, then it means President Mahama will sign it. Yes, I have this iota of trust in him that he's going to sign this bill into law. Now, the main reason why everyone is complaining is because of Clause 9. The Clause 9, people are complaining because it talks about the prohibition of you promoting LGBTQ plus activities and all that. Now, if you take a look at the whole Clause 9, it is only Clause 9.3 that was being changed. The whole Clause 9 is stating that if you are a landlord and then you rent for someone who is an LGBTQ person, you'll be jailed for 5 years. If you speak for LGBTQ, you will be jailed. If you promote activities, you wear colors of this LGBTQ stuffs, yeah, maybe as you're having a conversation now and then you're talking about LGBTQ, you will be jailed. So that law does not exempt even journalists. So it means we also do not have the right to go out and ask people on LGBTQ, because when we ask them their concern or what they think about it, in a way you're also promoting it. So it means you and I can be jailed. So that is the clause that was being changed. So at first when I saw this thing, I was like, no. But going back to read it, I feel like in a way it makes sense, because everyone is entitled to a representative here in Ghana. Even a serial killer, when you're being caught with a knife, stabbing someone to death, you have a right to go in for a lawyer. the lawyer will need to represent you. So regardless, even if you call this person in the act, the person still needs the right to go in for a lawyer to stand in for him or her. So that you cannot abolish that. And you see, it's funny because this minority, the same opinion can raise the same issue when they were in parliament. That was in 2024, where he then was the majority leader, raised this same thing in parliament, that this shouldn't be passed into law. Because when it's being passed into law, then it means that if you're a psychologist and then you are counseling people on this, because some people feel that is the mindset, you will be arrested. If I'm a landlord, as I said, I don't know whether you are into lesbianism or not. Me, I'm just renting my house. But then if it happens that you are into it, I will be jailed. And in a way, it doesn't make sense. So Afenyomakin said, instead of we jailing you, because jailing you too, don't forget that when you go to prison, it is only males that are in one room. In a way, I feel like they might even continue it there. So why don't we create something like a community where you'll be subjected to harsher penalties? So as you are being subjected in, it's like they're creating a community for these people. You are being subject to harsher, difficult activities, and once that is ongoing, it's like you are being cancelled to change. If you don't, then Insawam is waiting for you. So for me, I see no reason why this same minority and this same opinion market that spoke against this issue is now coming back. And the main reason why Akufo-Addo couldn't sign that LGBTQ thing into law was because two people went to court and then they sued this whole thing about LGBTQ because they needed clarification on this clause 9 actually. So for me, in a way, I'm excited and going back to thoroughly read through this, and I feel like what they've changed will not add, I don't see anything wrong with the change they did.
You don't see anything wrong with it.
I know
that means that you are in support of the change they actually brought, which is you having the right to a legal practitioner.
Of course.
In as much as they say is more or less like the institution advocating for LGBTQ, but in a way,
because if you don't
you
change
are entitled to it.
And they say reports they have to come and arrest us all. Because when it happens like that, even journalists, you have no right to. We don't have any right to sit here and be talking about it. We will be arrested. So that is the only thing that is being scrapped. The whole clause 9 is still in existence, but some part of it is being, cancelled out there.
But I thought these were the same people who were saying that freedom of expression and people's rights are being infringed on. And if the government has gone through the bill and see that this particular part is equally infringing on the rights of people, why don't we do something about it? Anyways, but do you see, we've been here before. It's not like we haven't been here before. This is not the first time the bill has actually been passed. Do you see any challenge coming up, just as we saw during the previous administration?
The only challenge will be the minority. They are our main problem right now. And for me, whatever they are doing, just like buttressing it with politics, and I see no reason why they are raising, because the same question they are raising is the same thing they spoke against when Sam George, and you see, the most funny thing is Team Fojo and Sam George are the leading convener of this COVID, this LGBTQ thing of a sort. And as it stands now, it's like Team Fojo is now against what is being passed into law now. But when your government was in power and then the bill was presented, Afenyomakin stood against that. And the bill wasn't signed because Akufo-Addo said they will need to rectify things in court, because two people also sue the whole LGBTQ bill of a thing because they needed clarification on that particular clause. So for me, if we will have any challenge, then it's the minority. But trust me, there cannot be a blockade. If the president wants to sign, he will still go ahead and sign. You cannot, block him.
Well, there's going to be a true state of the bill today at Parliament. I think on the 7th, they mentioned the 7th floor with the minority. There's going to be a press conference, and they are going to tell us the true state of the bill. It's going to be very interesting, and we just can't wait. But I'm very sure that we'll be picking that live, so make sure that you stick with us and watch that. enforce planning laws strictly to curb flooding in Accra. Engineer Abdullahi Mahama. Road and building consultant Abdullahi Mahama is calling on authorities to strictly enforce planning and development laws to help address the persistent flooding problem in Accra. He urged the Greater Accra Regional Minister Linda Oklu and other officials to take firm action against illegal development and unapproved construction. According to him, weak enforcement of planning regulations has contributed to disorderly urban growth, making flooding worse in many parts of the capital. Mr. Mahama explained that although planning schemes are designed to guide development over several years, implementation often departs from the original plans. He also raised concerns about the practice of rezoning small portions of land for different uses, arguing that it undermines proper urban planning and creates challenges for infrastructure development. According to him, changing land use designation for only a few plots at a time weakens development control and affects the overall planning objectives of an area. He warned that unregulated construction can obstruct drainage systems, increase flood risks, and place additional pressure on already strained urban infrastructure. The consultant stressed that stronger coordination between planning authorities, local assemblies, and developers is necessary to ensure orderly development and reduce the impact of flooding. His comments come amid ongoing concerns about reoccurring floods in Accra and growing calls for stricter enforcement of building and planning regulations. Flooding has become very persistent in Accra, not just Accra, but in some parts of the country as well. And we've seen the regional minister ongoing some exercises of demolishing some buildings which are in waterways and even some buildings in waterlands. If they do it, say abiding yet, but this is for our own benefit. So Mr. Abdullahi Mahama is suggesting that government should enforce stricter laws when it comes to planning in order to curb flooding as well. Ms. Debbie, is that a way forward?
Yeah, I think I agree with him, and I feel like weak enforcement is really worsening flooding here in Accra, and that is because we only wait when the rainy season is due, or when we are in the rainy season. That is when we see this regional minister and her, should I say, am I right to say cohort, or her cohort walking in from one side to the other, demolishing structures? I think these should have been done even long before we enter into this season. And because most of these people feel like there are weak enforcement, and so they do whatever they are supposed to do, and most of these builders and all that do not even have permits. They don't have permit from EPA, because if you have a permit from EPA will tell you that you are not supposed to build here. But because they don't get it, I feel like the right thing is not being done. And so tell me why a wetland will have to be sold out, or so for example, like the Ramsar site, it's not supposed to be sold out, but it's being sold out. And you can't tell me that Ramsar sites are being sold by ghosts. No, we have people who are supposed to ensure that the sites are being protected. So if they are not being protected and it's being sold out, then it means the right authorities who are supposed to do their work are not doing it, so they need to take them on. So you don't wait. That is our problem. We just relax, and then when it's time, we see that we are in the rainy season. Then you see them working. It shouldn't be so. You should start demolishing even before we are in this. And I don't know whether they should continue educating people, because for me, I feel like where we've gotten to, you don't need anybody to tell you that where you are building is wrong. Maybe, just maybe, you do not have any idea of where it's they are selling out to you, and that is why you need guidance. So I think on Friday we were fortunate to have an EPA representative here, and then he said you need to go in for permits. So you go in for permits from EPA. EPA will survey the land. EPA will tell you that you're not supposed to build here. Even if the right people, who is the assembly, who is supposed to tell you the right thing and not tell you, EPA will tell you that you're not supposed to do it here. Because when you do it here, there are sanctions, there are penalties. But because they want shortcut, and I am told that lands, these wetlands are less expensive, and so everybody wants to get it. And I feel like our planning system, when it has to do with building, it's kind of should I say clustered, because if we've really planned, I'm sure before Greater Accra came into existence, they were planning a laid down plan of how they want this place to be. So I'm sure I just feel like the laid down structures were not being followed. Even if it's being followed, I mean, as I said, the right people who are supposed to ensure that the right thing is being done, they are not doing it. And so for me, we've gotten to a standpoint, and the best thing we can do is that we have to enforce it. If the person who sold out the land, whether it's the chief, whoever it is, you need to face it. And then since you've also built, we have nothing to do. We have to demolish it. Because if your house gets flooded right now, you see, they will still be calling, and our bio, and our President Mahama. I don't know what they want President Mahama to do for them. Because I feel like you should have done the right thing. If the right thing is being done, you wouldn't find yourself where you find yourself currently. So I feel like, as for the enforcement, yeah, for me, I'm touching on that because it's dear to me. We lack it. We do not just do it at all. And I feel like even the people who are supposed to do it end up taking something. And so the right information is not even communicated. So I feel like the right thing should be done. That kind of behavior, that we will wait for something to happen before we take action, we should stop it. The regional minister is doing well, but it's not enough. Seriously.
So what should be done to the chief who end up
he should be arrested.
Lands.
He should be arrested. We have laws that are governing this land.
Because I saw a statement made by President John Dramani Mahama that we should be blaming the chiefs for all of this.
Of course, we have to blame them. And if you talk about the land, we have laws that are governing this land, and we have sanctions to it. So if you go against it, these are the sanctions. These are penalties that you face. Okay, so if somebody go against the law, we just move to what is the law stated. If somebody flout it, what is it stating? What are the penalties? Their money panel, then they serve as a deterrent to others. But when we don't do it, and then I know that aside the president, the second in command has to do with our chiefs. But as a chief, if you're not doing the right thing, the law needs to correct you. You cannot be there and then because you are a chief, you sell out lands just like that. We know the land is for you, but at least. And I was happy I saw the Ghana chief recently, when there was I think during the previous week when the dam was open and people's houses got flooded, he went out and then he was speaking, and then he also cautioned the chiefs, some of the chiefs, I mean the sub chiefs that are doing that. He cautioned them that they should be careful, else they will come after them. So I feel like it's about time we put our words into action.
Action, right. Miss Uchina?
Yeah. So I'll say illegal and building of houses, especially in this unapproved places, is very high. And as we all are saying, these lands do not belong to ghosts, but rather they belong to humans. And these humans are the ones that sell these lands to other people. I want to use some part of Kaswa as an example. I wouldn't say Kaswa is a land of waterlogged areas, but most of the houses there are built on waterlogged areas, and it is very wrong. There's a place called Mirefi. When you get to Kaswa, there's another car you pick to that area.
Tetego.
No. when you get to Kaswa station.
No, like I'm just.
Teteku is just in front here.
Kaswa station.
No, but you get
yes.
to Kaswa before you get. You
No,
No, Tetegu,
you
before
get to
Kaswa,
Tetegu before you get
Weja,
to Kaswa
Tetegu.
cra.
Okay.
For this, I leave her alone. I've forgotten the name of the area. That place is mechanic say you can say flooding area, but a lot of people have built there. And as I'm saying, the lands are not for ghosts, it is for a human being. And from what I'm hearing, most when you go to the Kaswa land, you don't just get an agent straight. Sometimes you go straight to the chief, and the chief sells the lands to you. So if you as a chief, and chiefs, we know you to be very reasonable and sensible. If you know you are sensible and reasonable, why would you sell a land to an individual knowing very well that this land is not good for building? And they'll not even tell you. We see 9 area now we drew a rainy season, and you realize why a big mistake. That is why most people always advise that this is the best time to either buy a land or to either rent a house.
Yes.
I saw a video on social media, one young lady there, her room is flooded to like this point. I was like, so just imagine that you're alone in this big world. You don't have anyone to depend on. Where are you going to? Or just order and panic, or you sleep outside together with the homeless people.
Hey.
Yes, because honestly, it is really getting out of hand. Sometimes I see some videos, dirty water rushing into people's room, and I'll be like, how did they build this house? How did they build it? Because I know that most of the times in waterlogged areas, they raise the foundation.
Yeah.
They really raise it, and they have this black rubber they saying a diner, so then they start building. And they find a suitable drainage system where the water would pass and go. But no, these people wouldn't do that. They'll just be building anyhow. See, Ghana, we have laws, we have rules, but they are not implementing it. If the elders themselves up there are not implementing it, how much more we? Yeah. So they have to start implementing it. Always will be known for good policies. No effective implementation.
We are just hoping that it gets better. June 3rd is coming again, and it's like we haven't learned the mistake that we made 11 years ago. The floods are still ongoing. There's no difference. So are we going to wait as a country for another tragedy to happen before we do something about the situation? Not only the chiefs, but we ourselves as well. It is raining. That is when you think that it is wise for you to throw rubbish in the gutter. You are also the problem. The chiefs are for their selfish gain. They are doing what they are doing. And you too, for some unreasonable reasons, you are also doing what you are doing. What you are looking for, you find it. Don't block 20% transport fare hikes. West Africa Director of CAT International, Apia Akusi, has urged government not to prevent transport operators from implementing the proposed 20% increase in public transport fares. His comments come ahead of a scheduled meeting between the Transport Ministry and unions to discuss the planned fare adjustments. According to Mr. Kisi, transport operators should be allowed to review fares in response to rising operational costs, particularly increases in fuel prices. He argued that it will be unfair to stop transport operators from adjusting fares when fuel prices continue to be reviewed upward regularly. Mr. Kusi noted that many transport operators have been struggling with increasing costs of fuel, vehicle maintenance, spare parts, and other business expenses. He explained that while some state-supported transport services may be able to absorb these costs, private operators often do not have the same level of support and therefore need flexibility to remain in business. According to him, Preventing fare adjustments could threaten the sustainability of transport businesses and affect service delivery. He further appealed to commuters to understand the challenges facing operators, describing the proposed increase as a response to economic realities rather than arbitrary decision. The issue has sparked debates among commuters, transport unions, and policymakers over how to balance affordability for passengers with the operational needs of transport providers. So, transport fares is said to go up, and CAT International is urging the government not to oppose it, but to also help the transport operators, the private transport operators, to also be able to deliver services adequately and also smoothly. Mr. B, should we bear with them, or the government can lobby on behalf of the passengers?
20%. 20%. I feel like 20% is too much. I don't remember.
I think that's how it has always been. Yeah.
So
if not 20%, it's going to be 10%.
So I feel like if this is happening, then I think it all boils down on communication. So I feel like maybe they've not been an intense communication between all these associations.
Unions.
But then I feel like this increment of a thing, the way these transport operators are so eager to increase transport fares, I would be much happy if they'll channel that into repairing their own vehicles, maintaining the vehicles and all that, because some vehicles are not fit to be on our roads, but they are only interested in increasing the fare. Petrol, they from the previous week, I think there've been speculations that there will be increment, like the increments is not forthcoming. I mean, like sometimes you see it going up and a bit it decreases and all that, but they've not been too much increment on our fuel, in as much as where we import it from, they've been chaos and conflict all over. But then I feel like we are still in a normal so why will you want to increase fare? Already these people have already increased the fare, so what fare do they want to increase again?
I think the reason they are complaining much is because VIP has increased their fares and government didn't say anything about it. So why is it that VIP is increasing their fares and we are not? How different are they?
No, wait.
Yes.
VIP, is it not? So the people we are talking about right now has to do with this church of people, right?
Yes.
And then church of people want to compare themselves to VIP. VIP do not go from Kaswa to AU. VIP buses travel long distances.
Well, the reason VIP gave was because of increased fuel. And increased fuel is affecting all transport unions. So how different are they from them? Government is lobbying that they shouldn't increase their fares, but you have allowed VIP. That I feel that is unfair.
If that is the reason for VIP increasing their fare, for me, it doesn't really make sense for me. But if you are taking a look at VIP and this church of people, VIP travel long distances. So if VIP is increasing their fare, for me it makes sense. But with this church of people that go from Kaswa to Accra to this place, so you want to increase fare, you want to increase our fare.
So are you trying to say that the increase in fuel price is not, they are not being affected?
I wouldn't say they are not being affected. They are being affected, but then I feel like VIP is more affected than these social buses.
How are they more affected? Because it's affecting everybody.
It's affecting everybody, but the quantity VIP will consume to travel from here to maybe north and still come back, is someone in Accra here can use that for maybe a month.
A month.
Hey!
No, or 2 weeks.
No. Do you know you can't buy a fuel in a day and take it to the next day? You would have to top up again.
Oh, but for me, sincerely speaking, I see no reason why they should increase.
See, if you ask me, wait, if you ask me, on Friday when I was going to where I was going to, the traffic started all the way from is it Dombote? What's the name? Almost at Aoshi last stop. That's where the traffic started from. and the driver is in traffic and the fuel is consuming.
Yes. The car
So
is still
assuming
running.
Still not an
there's
excuse.
but so assuming that there's no traffic and I can go maybe like 3 trips, and because of that traffic
They will still
I've
increase
wasted
it. They
their
will still
fuel.
increase it.
I think it's high
They
time
will.
we should understand these
No.
people as well.
No.
Because if your dad should be a driver,
No,
I think you speak for him.
In my opinion, I see no reason why they should increase it, because how many times have you heard VIP telling that they want to increase fare? For even when the MPP was in power, okay, so let me just use the previous administration where there were increments in fuel and all that. How many times have you heard VIP or those buses that travel long distances complaining? So if this time around they are telling you that they want to increase fare, me, I see nothing wrong with it.
VIP always, I wouldn't say just VIP, but I think every transport operator or every transport union increases their fares when there's an increase in fuel prices.
They do, but with VIP and those buses, for me, so this is my opinion. For me, it's good for on my side. But when it comes to this structural people, please, that is
Okay.
me, please.
If they increase their fare, if you pay and you not pay
there is
to
no
day
need
or
to
day.
increase the fare. Because even when the 20% was not being added, they are still increasing. So what about when it's rain and they are taking more than they are supposed to take? Is that also part of the fare? No. So increasing, your mind increasing that. So for me, I see no reason why we should bear with them that they should increase. If in fact they can increase it to 50.
But you pay.
Of course, I will pay.
Hey,
I have no
you
option.
cannot complain.
No, I have no option. I'll pay. But what I'm saying is that it doesn't really make sense. Every day they are complaining. They want to increase it. They want to increase it. They should increase. They should continue increasing.
Miss Regina.
They should increase.
They should increase.
Okay, so
They should
I'm
increase.
now trying to side with her in a way, because looking at VIP buses or these operators, they don't randomly just wake up in a blue like that and just decide to increase fares. And no matter how inconvenient it is for them, they still take the same charge. But looking at these drivers, I would say most of these people have, as she said, have already increased fares because in Kyoto,
No, to
from
20 minutes. You know,
Uncle.
do you know what we are
go.
going to?
Like you get it.
Kaswa Church.
last time
20
I heard one,
cedis.
20 cedis,
What I
15,
say,
25.
do you have a choice?
That is my transfer for
You don't
4
have
days.
a choice.
Good.
So you see, it is wrong for them to have increased it at that crucial moment.
get it.
It is even at that moment where you are supposed to take lesser price, go and come back and take more people. But no, they would rather increase it.
Abroni
So
be.
in a way, I understand that. Say it doesn't make sense, because looking at this VIP, they don't just increase it just like that. But mo de bia, she ubet unim say from Awosh. Me nowadays, me say me in my mates bia, because I know that from my place to this place is 3 cities. Sometimes these people will take 3 cities, 50 pesos, 4 cities. And the last time I thought, don't mind how I'm dressed. If you fool, I will take my money. But don't you just say, oh, you want dash me 1 cedi, but don't forcefully take it from me. Last time, Messi, Mama 4 cedis, 2 cedis, 2. Give me my 1 cedi. Me saying, say 1 cedi, and I'm saying 1 cedi. I made papa. I took it before I liked it.
I know you.
I took it because it's annoying. That all 1 cedi, 50 pesos, 20 pesos. It is increase. It is increment. So if they want to increase, Maza, they should go ahead and increase. Ebia, they be better. Me, sorry,
The day it's rained here, I think that I was here. So manager called me. I wasn't not knowing it was because not like can so he was wondering maniac. I got home 9. I wasn't getting vehicle, and the vehicles that came 20, whether our lights at Makati or whether our lights at Bayard, whether our lights at Malam Junction, 20 cities. Why? But they be able to. They should increase it to 100. Whatever.
You pay.
It's annoying.
You pay.
Imagine they don't do that and they want to increase. We will be the one even calling on them to increase it because in a way they think about their passengers. Okay, they work in their favor. But here lies the case: all the drivers, these social drivers in Ghana here, they are selfish. That is who they are.
Well, Kat is saying that government shouldn't oppose it or shouldn't block them from increasing it because vehicle maintenance is expensive, fuel prices have gone up, and other vehicle expenses are also going up. So government shouldn't oppose it. Well, let's see how it goes. But before we go, there's been a press release from the National Democratic Congress, and this time around it looks like they are debunking all early presidential campaign. So the press reads, statements by the Council of Elders of the National Democratic Congress, NDC. The Council of Elders of the National Democratic Congress wishes to inform all members of the party and the general public that it held a meeting with His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama, the President of the Republic of Ghana, and also the leader of the NDC on Friday. Following extensive deliberations on matters concerning party unity, discipline, and the collective responsibility of all members towards the successful implementation of the government's resetting agenda, the Council issues the following statement for the guidance of all party members. The Council notes with concerns the growing unease among sections of the party and the wider public regarding reports of premature presidential campaigns and related political activities by individuals and the groups within the party. The Council wishes to remind all members that the NDC is currently focused on delivering on the mandate entrusted to it by the people of Ghana. In this critical stage of national reconstruction and renewal, every member of the party is expected to devote his or her energies, resources, and commitment to supporting the government's effort to reset the country and improve the lives of Ghanaians, rather than engaging in activities that have the potential to create division, distraction, or unnecessary internal competitions. The Council further draws attention to the provision of Article 42 of the Constitution of the National Democratic Congress, which clearly stipulates the date and venue for the election of the presidential candidate shall be decided by the National Executive Committee, but that election shall take place at least 12 months before a national election date if the party is in power, and at least 24 months if the party is not in power. The Council emphasizes that until the appropriate constitutional processes have been initiated and the National Executive Committee has determined the timetable and guidelines for the conduct of the presidential primaries, no individual, group, or interest is authorized to undertake or promote any form of presidential campaign, whether directly or indirectly. Accordingly, the Council of Elders direct all persons engaged in such activities to cease forthwith. These include all forms of campaigning, mobilization, endorsement, publicity, or related activities intended to advance the presidential ambitions of any prospective candidate. The Council calls on all party members to remain focused on the larger task before us, consolidating the party's unity, supporting the government's transformational agenda, and working together to fulfill the expectation of the Ghanaian people. The time for internal contest will come. For now, our collective responsibility to serve the nation and successfully implement the mandate entrusted to us. And this was issued by the Council of Elders, National Democratic Congress. So they are debunking and calling anybody who is aspiring to, campaign for anything that they should halt it. According to their constitution, if they are in power, no campaign is supposed to take place until 12 months to it. Right, for your information. Thank you so much. Up next, we have Today in History with Miss Regina.
Bringing you Today in History and some global observances live on GhanaTalks breakfast show. So 1st June, Kenya's path to sovereignty. Kenya's path to sovereignty spans from the anti-colonial struggles of the late 19th century to the historic 23rd Constitution. The nation secured internal self-rule, Madaraka, on this day 1963, and full independence from British colonial rule on December 12th, 19th. South Africans' re-entry into the Commonwealth. South Africa officially rejoined the Commonwealth of Nations on this day 1994, following the dismantling of apartheid and the country's first democratic elections. This historic re-entry ended a 33-year absence that began when the nation withdrew in 1961 due to global condemnation of its racial policies. To some global observances, Dare Day is a light-hearted call to action day dedicated to daring people to do things they normally would not do. It is a time for people to push their boundaries, test their bravery, and engage in safe, legal challenges and personal actions like asking someone on a date. Flip a coin day. It encourages people to leave minor, everyday decisions to chance by flipping a coin instead of overthinking. The history and tradition of these practice of using a coin flip to settle disputes and make choices date back centuries, with roots tracing all the way back to the time of Julius Caesar. According to tradition, Caesar would flip a coin, which bore his own face, when faced with difficult decisions, and accept the outcome on the head side as the correct answer. We also have Global Day of Parents. Acknowledge parents, caregivers, and guardians for the love and support they provide in shaping their children's future. Promotes the idea that children should grow up in a family environment filled with happiness, love, and understanding. Stand for Children Day, dedicated to advocating for children's rights, well-being, and education. So speak for a child today. And also Say Something Nice Day, spreading genuine positivity to the people around, whether it means complimenting a co-worker's hard work, thanking a family member, or sharing a warm greeting with a neighbor. So say something nice today. And lastly, National Go Barefoot Day. It celebrates the simple joy of going without shoes while acting as an awareness and fundraising day to provide shoes for underprivileged children and individuals in poverty-stricken areas globally. And that's all for today on Today in History and some global observances, live on GhanaTalks Breakfast Show.
Thank you so much, Miss Debbie.
Welcome to Debbie's Grill, where we talk about issues that concern the state, void of politics, fear or favor. Parliament has passed the controversial Human Sexual Rights and Family Values Bill, widely referred to as the Anti-LGBTQ Bill, after months of intense national debate and international scrutiny. The bill, sponsored by a group of bipartisan lawmakers, seeks to criminalize LGBTQ+ activities, advocacy, and the promotion of what it describes as non-conventional sexual relations and family values. Its passage marks one of the most divisive legislative moments in Ghana's recent democratic history, drawing both strong support from conservative and religious groups and criticism from human rights organizations and sections of the international community. Among other provisions, the bill proposes penalties for individuals who engage in same-sex relations, as well as sanctions against persons and organizations accused of promoting, funding, or advocating for LGBTQ+ activities. Supporters of the legislation argued that it is necessary to preserve Ghanaian cultural, religious, and family values. several religious bodies and traditional leaders had publicly backed the bill during parliamentary deliberations, insisting that the legislation reflect the moral beliefs of the majority of Ghanaians. However, critics have warned that the law could undermine constitutional rights, including freedom of expression, association, and protection from discrimination. Co-sponsor of the controversial anti-LGBTQ bill, Reverend Tim Fojo, and other members of parliament on the minority side of the House are fighting an attempt to introduce clauses into the bill removing sanctions for media, legal and other professionals who render services that could be deemed as promotion of LGBTQ plus activities. So last week Friday, for me it's a good news. We heard a good news that the LGBTQ plus bill was passed, and personally I'm kind of excited because I think I've been speaking about this particular LGBTQ thing for almost, if I wouldn't lie, I think I've spoken about it consistently. I can't give the exact figure though, but I've spoken about it consistently because I feel like it's very, very necessary for us to pass the bill into law. Although we've seen this bill being passed during the previous administration, but the only challenge was that it wasn't signed into law. But on Friday, the bill has been passed, and personally, I have this iota of belief and trust that it could be passed into law. Now, I've heard people speaking about the bill, that there've been a change in the bill, blah, 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 and that they will still need to go through that. And that particular point that was being figured out was done by the minority. And you see, the most funny aspect is that Reverend Tim Fojo and Samonate George, I will say they are the leading conveners of this whole thing, LGBTQ+. But when this bill was represented to Parliament, that was Friday when it was being passed, they had a challenge with clause 9 of the bill. Now, what is it stating? The clause 9 of the bill is again the prohibition of promoting this LGBTQ plus activities. So imagine I come here and then I speak about like what I'm doing, I'll be picked up because in a way it's being termed that I'm kind of promoting it, whether my intention towards it is positive or negative. I'll be picked up because it's against that. And so even if I go out and then I ask people, which we do, we go out, we ask people their views on this LGBTQ plus, I will still be picked up. Now, one thing people do not understand is that the whole clause 9 is not being scrapped. The jail terms are still there. If you are being caught, you will be served, like you will serve the sentence. But the only change that was made has to do with journalists, counselors, and legal practitioners. So imagine a journalist, you are talking about the same thing, it means you are exempted. And then one thing is that everyone is subjected to a representative, like a legal representative. I cited an example that if you are being caught with a knife stabbing someone, like the evidence is clear that you are stabbing someone, you still have the right to go in for a legal person to stand in for you. Because when that issue gets to court, you still need someone, you need a lawyer to stand in to talk on your behalf. So, according to our law, regardless of how tedious that crime is, you still have the right to go in for a lawyer. So, if that lawyer speaks on your behalf, so then the bill which was introduced in 2024 spoke against that. That even as a legal representative, you have no right to stand in for an LGBTQ person. So, in a way, if you are being caught in the act, like you just be jailed, you don't have the right to go in for a lawyer to stand in for you, because we know that it has been criminalized. So you don't have the right to do that. And then the bill also stated that as a landlady or as a landlord, if I rent my house for someone who is into this LGBTQ plus sort of a thing, I will be arrested. But think of it, when you think of this thing twice, I'm a landlord or a landlady, and then I rent house for someone. How am I supposed to know Whether this person coming in to rent my house is into soppy or whatever it is into LGBTQ, gay or lesbianism. So you see, it is this part that is being, let me say, it's being changed. And the same minority that are making complaint of this raised this issue when a bill was first presented to Parliament in 2024. The then majority, now the minority leader, Fenyo Markin, raised a question on that. There was an interview, he was granted an interview by Joy News. And then he said it. He said, instead of us jailing these people, why not we push them into, community, something sort of community punishment of a thing. So as they are being punished, in a way, there should be, there should be someone like a psychologist, because some people believed if you are into this LGBTQ sort of a thing, it's here. So they'll have to cancel you and all that. So they stood against that particular thing. And then we still had 2 people who went to court to raise concerns on that, because they need clarification on that. And I would say maybe, just maybe, that is the main reason why they didn't send it into law. That is their own problem. But the bill was not passed. And the same people, the same question they raised, or the same problem they found with the bill and all that, now that the bill is represented or reintroduced to Parliament, they're still making complaint that why is it changed, and why should there be a sort of change on it. First, when I saw this, in a way I felt like it was not supposed to be so, but trust me, when you read through, you get, like, you make sense out of it. Because as I said, you need someone to represent you in court, but that doesn't mean that if you are being caught red-handed, if the Lord finds you guilty, you are not going to serve your term. You would definitely serve your term. The most important thing right here is that, in as much as this passing of the bill is nothing new, because it was passed during the previous administration and we never saw anything, we just hope that this current one will be passed into law. It wouldn't be just we introducing it into Parliament and then passing it and we not signing it, because trust me, this LGBTQ sort of thing is not part of us. It's not our tradition. We are against it. God in his own wisdom created man and woman. If God feels like a woman wouldn't be a help to a man, or a man wouldn't be a help to a woman, I'm not sure he will create these 2 creatures. He would have created one and then allowed them to do their things. But because he felt like it is needed, that is why he created it. So our culture and our tradition is against that. So please, if you're an LGBTQ person, you better start psyching your mind whether to change or not, because if this is being passed into law and you are being caught, trust me, you don't need explanation. The law will deal with you. Thank you for making time with me on The Best Girl.
Thank you so much, Miss Debbie, for that, girl. And thank you too for joining us on the Ghana Talks Breakfast Show. We'll go for the news.
Are you ready to amplify your business or brand's reach and make a meaningful impact in Ghana and beyond? Partner with Ghana Talks Radio today to connect with a diverse audience across Ghana and beyond. Elevate your brand through on-air promotions and social media. Boost your brand during prime time. With Ghana Talks Radio, you can extend your reach across digital platforms. Ghana Talks Radio is not just a station, it is a community hub where your brand becomes part of the conversation. Join us in fostering connections, celebrating culture, and making a lasting impression. For customized sponsorship packages and enquiries, email contact@GhanaTalksRadio.com or call +233 202 544614. Ghana Talks Radio, giving the youth a voice.
What do you want for breakfast? How do you want your breakfast?
English breakfast, French fries.
Koko Nikosi, alo komi keshito.
Wache.
Well, Gobe is the real deal.
Join us on Ghana Talks Radio. Let's serve you a buffet of breakfast.
From news headlines review, current affairs to social issues.
Entertainment, sports, and all the trending stories live on our mobile app and across all socials from Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 10 a.m.
With me, Pakwesi Omare.
Regina Bliss.
Deborah Adoso.
And I am Esinal Fiagbedu. This is Ghana Talks Breakfast Show.
We bring you local news, business news, international, sports, and entertainment news. Right here on GTR.
Hello, good morning and welcome to the morning news update on Ghana Talks Radio. Coming up this morning, President John Dramani Mahama has condemned xenophobic attacks across Africa, calling for unity and protection of all Africans regardless of nationality. In Parliament, the Minority Caucus is rejecting Clause 9 exemption in the Human Sexual Rights Bill, while the Communication Minister Samnati George has pushed back on claims that the bill has been watered down. Health sector issues are also in focus, with unemployed nurses urging minority members of parliament to join their fight for jobless health workers still waiting for posting. In legal education, the Council for Legal Education is being urged to safeguard standards at the Ghana School of Law amid ongoing reforms. Aboso-Okan spare part dealers are rejecting claims that rising spare part costs are behind recent fare hikes. Details of these stories and many others coming up shortly. President John Dramani Mahama has condemned xenophobic attacks in parts of Africa, describing them as a major setback to the continent's unity and integration drive. Speaking during a town hall meeting with Ghanaians in London, the president expressed sadness over a recent report of attacks in South Africa and ongoing reparations from other African countries. He pointed to the African Continental Free Trade Area as a framework for deeper cooperation. He urged African government to prioritize dialogue and integration over division.
Recently, we've always pushed for African unity, and so it's sad to see some of the things that are happening on the continent. There's no way that any African country can achieve the kind of progress that it needs without working with other countries. We cannot achieve it in isolation, and that is why we passed the African Continental Free Trade Area, so that our people can invest in each other's countries, our people can move freely amongst each other's countries. Ghana is actioning this. Recently, we have made visas to our country for all African passport holders free of charge. So any African traveling to Ghana does not have to pay for a visa. In doing that, we've introduced the e-visa system, which makes it more convenient for our citizens living in diaspora. No longer do you have to come from Middlesbrough or Birmingham to the embassy to come and apply for a visa. You just sit wherever you are and put in the application, and within 48 hours, the visa will be issued.
The Minority Caucus in Parliament has rejected proposed amendment to Clause 9 of the Human Sexual Rights and Family Values Bill 2025 that would exempt certain
professionals from liability when providing services to persons identified as LGBTQ. According to the caucus, the exemption undermines the core intent of the bill. Asen South Member of Parliament, Reverend Tim Fojo, Anna Boakwa South Member of Parliament, Nana Safweje led the opposition during debate on the floor of Parliament. They argued the original bill was not fit for purpose. Meanwhile, Parliament is expected to continue deliberations on the amendment in the coming days.
The new bill we wanted Akufo-Addo to pass is now exempting all these people under this clause, including NGOs, including academic publications and for science and medical opinions. Mr. Speaker, including the report of news and current affairs by the media house or journalists in other courses of the journalism. Mr. Speaker, the point we are making here is that if you even see the proposal and the footnote, it said the rationale is to create an exemption for these categories of activity that may otherwise impugn under Section 2. Mr. Speaker, this is just watering down the point that you wanted the Akufo-Addo to sign in 2028, for which reason people had issues. So today it is clear, Mr. Speaker, today it is clear that you are exempting all these people under this bill, which is not the same bill you asked the Akufo-Addo to sign.
The provision of medical, surgical, psychological, or counseling services in accordance with accepted professional practice, which exemption was not part of the bill you wanted Akufo-Addo to sign. And F, the reporting of news or current affairs by a media house or a journalist in the ordinary course of journalism, and the performance of a public health functions, including HIV and AIDS prevention, testing, treatment, and care, which same testament was given by the Ghana AIDS Commission before the full glare of this country in our live telecast that they provide condoms, lubricants, and other aids for persons living with HIV who are known LGBT members, so that they will go about their absurd sexual experiences. And yet this government wants to make exemption under this law. That is not the law we sponsored in the 8th Parliament. That is not the law we are sponsoring today. If the government is minded to pass their own law of a sort, which will grant all these exemptions, the very places we are trying to clamp down on, that can be a separate law. But so long as the Human Sexual Rights and Family Values Bill is concerned, these exceptions are alien. These are not the exceptions in the Ugandan bill that was passed. These are not the exceptions in the Senegalese bill that was passed. These are not the exemptions granted in any of the countries that we are going to host next week, who have passed these laws and whom we are proud to host them in this very chamber. We are planning to host them. When they passed their bill, they didn't give any of these exceptions, because that is where the real problem is. These are the people sponsoring, supporting, making these activities rather attractive behind the scenes and even sometimes overtly. And so if I find it highly problematic, any attempt by this House to push any of these exceptions in, we will resist it. And if the House will use their majority numbers to push it through, I, as a sponsor, will advise myself.
In response, Minister for Communications Samonate George has dismissed claims of minority against the proposed bill. In an interview, the Ningo Prampra Member of Parliament said exemption carved out for journalists and medical professionals do not dilute the bill's core objectives.
Do not forget that one of the key things that the then majority leader, now minority leader, Fenyo Markin, had raised in opposition to the passage of the bill was a suggestion that the bill criminalized certain professionals in the exercise of their professional capabilities. And I said, look, that is neither here nor there. In fact, that formed the basis of the suits by Richard Sky and Amanda Odoy to the Supreme Court. The issue of who exactly does the bill reflect on and what are the exemptions in there. And so what we did within Team Fojo, when we decided to relay this bill, was to make that clarification that said subject to the Constitution. So if you look at what we submitted as sponsors in March, April, thereabout, and was subsequently sent to the committee in September of last year, we introduced a phrase in clause 9 and clause 10. We said subject to the Constitution, to ensure that everybody is clear in their mind that whatever this law is seeking to criminalize is subject to constitutional privileges that exist. Now, when we went to the committee, the chairman of the committee then said, look, to avoid the confusion, because today we are having this back and forth, and because it's in Parliament, we can call on Sam George, what is exactly is the intent of this bill? And then we come and explain. But after the bill is passed and accented to by the president, interpretation no longer rests with the lawmaker, it rests with the judge. And so if you do not clarify and codify what the boundaries you are setting are clearly, and even someone as experienced as Afenyo Market could have confusion in his mind, you may then begin to have interpretative issues that will arise. So then we said, okay, let us be clear what 8 exemptions we are creating. The argument by Ntim Fordjour and some members of the NPP that we've watered down the act or the law is not factual. Because you see that my brother Michael still has his issues that he had with me 4 years ago, still with the law. Because we've still kept all of those provisions. Look, Ntim Fordjour and my brothers in the NPP, all their problem is this. NDC has come. They thought we were not going to pass this law. They thought we were going to use it to play politics. And now we've shown that our commitment goes beyond politics. It goes to the protection of the innocence of our children. And that we will not compromise, even though it doesn't please Michael and some other people, we will not compromise on what our stance are. And our stance remains the same. LGBTQ rights are illegal. And like Mahama Yariga said when you interviewed him yesterday, you asked him, for persons in that category, what should they do? Change. If you don't change, the law will deal with you.
The General Secretary of the Coalition of Employed Nurses and Allied Health Professionals has called on the Minority Caucus in Parliament to back their campaign for the immediate employment of qualified but jobless health workers. Speaking on behalf of the coalition, Gideon Insia said a united advocacy push for lawmakers would mount pressure on the government to tackle unemployment in the health sector. Their call stems from months of state protest and petition over the delay in posting and paying of allowances for health practitioners.
Of which we think that it is not good. We would want to talk to the minority, to speak to Parliament, so that the rest of us can be posted. And Gideon Insia, General Secretary
of the unemployed nurses.
2021.
Folks, you've done your job as a Ghanaian. Okay, so guys, we are here. This is the minority members on the health committee. This is a Ghanaian who has just ambushed us. We were having a press conference on the Uweja Hospital. And that is the job we are supposed to do. I asked him why he's here. He said he believed and asked for us to speak on it. And we are going to speak on it. The issue is simple. Under the MPP government, what was done is that you employ en bloc. So 18,000 nurses and the rest of the health force, you employ them batch 2021. But what is ongoing now is that they are picking about probably 6,000 of their batch 2021. And they are not doing it properly. That's not what the MPP used to do. We pick all of them. And that's why they are here to speak to us. So what we are saying is that they must use the mid-year budget review to do something concrete for the health force. The health force is a social sector. The social sector enjoy marginal social benefit. And you don't have to think that it's an economical institution. For that matter, you have to make profit out of it. And when you are going to spend on it and you think it's supposed to be profiting, the profiting is when you have longevity, long life, quality of life, reduction in disabilities. That's where we are measured. We are not measured because of the money we make. So the young boy is saying that they are tired of being at home. They should do it the MPP way. The MPP way is that 18,000 of what your 2021 batch are there. And they should employ all of them, not 6,000. So the Minister of Finance, the Minister of Health, Your Excellency, the President, what we are saying is that do what the MPP used to do. We used to employ all the cohort en bloc. And you are not doing the same. You say you came to fix it. look, during their campaign, they said that they would employ youth. You people voted, and they said they will employ you automatically, or yes, they said right from school.
From school.
And when they came, they've not been able to package all those promises to reality.
There are a lot of budgets at home, 2022 to 2024.
That's almost about 100,000, because average is about 70,000.
Legal practitioner Kofu Krantin has urged the Council for Legal Education to prioritize quality control as reforms to Ghana's legal education system. According to him, changes to training must not erode the standards by the Ghana School of Law. He argued that maintaining the Ghana School of Law is critical to preserving public confidence in lawyers and the justice system. In business, the Aboso Okan Spare Parts Dealers Association has refuted claims that rising spare parts prices are among the factors necessitating a planned 20% increase in transport fares by commercial transport operators from June 2nd. According to the association, spare part prices have remained stable in recent months, contrary to assertions by the Ghana Private Road Transport Union and other transport operators that escalating operating costs justify the proposed fare adjustment. Speaking in an interview, the head of communications of the association, Techi Ado, insisted that there's been no upward review of prices across the spare part market. Mr. Ado argued that recent gains in the local currency and relative stability in the foreign exchange market have eased pressure on importers and traders, making claims of widespread spare parts price increase inaccurate. The association further commended the government management of the economy and exchange rate, noting that the relative stability of the cedi over the past month has contributed positively to business operations within the spare parts sector. He maintained that while traders continue to advocate for a reduction in taxes and other costs affecting the industry, current market conditions do not support claims of significant price increases. He also urged transport operators to engage government directly on concerns regarding operational costs rather than attributing planned fare adjustment to spare parts prices. The comment comes amid plans by sections of commercial transport operators to increase fares by 20% from June 2nd, citing rising operational expenses, including fuel and vehicle maintenance costs. To sports, government says it will prioritize securing World Cup tickets for Ghanaians in diaspora to support the Black Stars at the 2026 FIFA World Cup, while ruling out state-funded travel for fans due to cost concerns. President John Dramani Mahama said this at a town hall meeting in the United Kingdom on Sunday, May 31st, during his official visit. He said the cost of transport, feeding, and accommodating supporters would be too high for the state to fund. He estimated the total cost at nearly $11,000 per supporter, describing it as beyond government fiscal capacity. Instead, he said government will not organize mass travel packages from Ghana. It will focus on engaging supporter unions and helping to secure match tickets for Ghanaians already living abroad to attend games. The plan shifts emphasis towards diaspora-based support, with fan groups expected to play a central role in coordinating attendance at matches. In showbiz, the final funeral rites of Ghanaian actress Beverly Afaglo will be held on Friday, August 7th at the Lashibi Funeral Home in the Greater Accra region. The funeral arrangements were disclosed during a one-week memorial held on Saturday, May 30th at the Green Flavor Event Center in Committee 9, where family, colleagues and members of the public gathered to pay their respect. Mourners filled the venue to honor the late actress, whose contribution to Ghana's film industry spanned over 2 decades. The event was marked by a symbolic release of white balloons reflecting a sobering atmosphere of grief and remembrance. The actress died on Sunday, May 24th, after a reported 2-year battle with cancer. She was known for roles in several Ghanaian films. Her death has drawn tribute from across Ghana's entertainment industry, with colleagues and fans remembering her for her talent and contribution to the film industry. On Global Update, former South African president has launched a strong defense of African migrants. He warns that growing hostility towards foreign nationals is based on a false narrative that distracts from the real causes of South Africa's economic challenges. Speaking at the Tambo Mbeki Foundation and other NEPAD business breakfast, he argued that undocumented African migrants are being unfairly blamed for unemployment and crime, while others responsible for the country's economic decline escape scrutiny. His remarks come days after nearly 300 Ghanaians voluntarily returned home from South Africa amid heightened fears following anti-migrant protests and growing concerns about the safety of foreign nationals. He rejected suggestions that undocumented African migrants were responsible for South Africa's unemployment crisis. He said South Africa's economic difficulties were rooted in development that long predated the current immigration debate. According to him, those truly responsible for the country's economic decline have escaped public criticism because attention has been diverted elsewhere. Mbeki predicted that migration in South Africa would continue regardless of political pressure and anti-immigrant sentiment. He argued that South Africans must find practical ways of managing migration rather than turning migrants into scapegoats for broader structural problems. In one of the strongest moments of his address, he accused anti-immigrant campaigners of pursuing the wrong target. He urged South Africans to confront the real causes of unemployment and economic hardship rather than embrace what he described as fiction. He also appealed for greater recognition of the historic bond between South Africans and the rest of the continent. And that's a wrap on the morning news update. Do well to log on to all streaming platforms at GhanaTalks Radio for more news stories. I am Deborah Adosu. Thank you so much for sticking tuned to your radio. Good morning.
Are you ready to amplify your business or brand's reach and make a meaningful impact in Ghana and beyond? Partner with GhanaTalks Radio today to connect with a diverse audience across Ghana and beyond. Elevate your brand through on-air promotions and social media. Boost your brand during prime time. With GhanaTalks Radio, you can extend your reach across digital platforms. GhanaTalks Radio is not just a station, it is a community hub where your brand becomes part of the conversation. Join us in fostering connections, celebrating culture, and making a lasting impression. For customized sponsorship packages and enquiries, email contact@GhanaTalksRadio.com or call +233 202 544614. GhanaTalks Radio, giving the youth a voice.
What do you want for breakfast? How do you want your breakfast?
English breakfast, French fries. Koko nikosi, alo komi kesheto. Wache.
Well, Gobe is the real deal.
Join us on Ghana Talks Radio. Let's serve you a buffet of breakfast.
From news headlines review, current affairs to social issues.
Entertainment, sports, and all the trending stories live on our mobile app and across all socials from Monday to Friday 7 a.m. to 10 a.m.
With me, Pakwesi Omare,
Regina Bless,
Deborah Adosu,
and I am Esinal Fiagbedu. This is Ghana Talks Breakfast Show.
morning to you once again, and you are welcome to the Ghana Talks Breakfast Show right here on Ghana Talks Radio. This is the second segment of the morning show, and as you know it, we come along with knowledgeable guests who are going to be delving into the issues for discussion. As part of our issues this morning, Parliament has passed the LGBTQ plus bill and also the NITA bill, the controversial bill, which is actually making trend. That is part of the issues we're looking at this morning. And I must say that we can't just wait to dive into it. Remember that we are streaming live on Facebook at GhanaTalks Radio, on YouTube at GhanaTalks Radio, and also on X at GhanaTalks Radio. Do all to log on, send in your comments, and let's get interactive right here on the morning show. My name is still Ruth Esenam Fiakbedu. This morning, I think I'm elated to have two gallant gentlemen right there in the studios, and they just can't wait to delve into the issues and the topical issues we have this morning. We have in the studios with us Mr. Moses Saki, the NDC Regional Communications Team member, and also we have Abdul Mutalib, the NPP Northern Regional Youth Organizer, hopeful, and also the NPP Communications Team member. Good morning to you, gentlemen, and you are welcome to the Ghana Talks Breakfast Show.
Good morning. Good morning.
Happy New Month to you as
Same
well.
Same to you.
We are hoping for a good month and a better month.
Definitely.
We have equally divided the year.
Yeah.
This is the 6th month.
Yeah.
And all too soon, the year is coming to an end again. And very soon, we'll be going for elections again.
Yes. It's very, very important.
Very, very important.
Yeah, very, very important.
The days are running.
Yes.
Anyways, Mr. Saki, it's been a while we had you here.
Oh, yeah.
What's happening? Did you travel? Oh, you went to get married. You didn't invite us.
Oh, for marriage, yeah. Let's hold on. Maybe my brother will go in for that.
Yeah, making money first.
Very, very important.
Money moves.
Yeah, we are seriously, helping His Excellency John Romani Mahama deliver accordingly, even though we are not perfect. You understand me? So that is why sometimes when I receive the call from the producer, we just go about doing the needful. Sometimes we're not in Accra. Sometimes we go to other regions and do much research, listening to what the people want to hear, and listening to what the cries that people are still crying. You understand me? So we are still persistent to be able to achieve, even though we are not perfect, but we are still persistent. Yeah.
Right. It's good to have you in the studios.
No,
Mr. Mutalib, how are you doing?
I'm getting excited.
You are getting excited?
Yeah.
What's the excitement about?
That is where we have gotten to. We are very close to a point where the affable Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia will be coming to save our nation. So the days are getting numbered, and that is why I'm getting excited. But if there was still a very long period for His Excellency Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia to come and save us, then I'm sure I would have been very sad. Because even today as we speak, new month, sort of we enjoying the month, and this is giving us increase in fuel price. And drivers are saying that, in fact, transport unions are saying that they will translate it into the lorry fares. And I am very also excited because my good friend here, at least, even though I don't know how he would, I know that there is one gene in NDC people. He may change, but for admitting that they are not perfect, at least that one alone shows some level of remorse to Ghanaians. But not those who will come and be like, oh, doing well and what have you. That alone actually confirms that indeed he goes out to do research, and then and he admits that yes, there are still challenges, regardless of whatever effort they are making.
So transport fares are set to go up by 20%. And we are hearing from CAT International that to the government that they shouldn't oppose it because we've seen fuel prices going up, we've seen vehicle maintenance also going up, and we see vehicle expenses, spare parts also going up. So due to that, government shouldn't oppose it, but should also allow the drivers to increase their fares. Do you agree with Kat?
You see, before I proceed, I want to say good morning to my brother. I think today is the first time me meeting you.
Sure.
And it's been a long time me being here. I said that God will bless us all as we are also promoting Ghana as well. I also want to thank the people of Ablekuma South constituency that wherever they are, they should not worry. Change is coming. Everything is going to be well.
Is it your constituency that said it was flooded? And the
Ablekuma South.
Or is West rather?
It was West.
Yes.
Reverend Ado. Yeah. So you see, with the fuel prices, every government faces such crisis. You understand me?
Mm-hmm.
As I said, as a government, so many issues will occur from the east to west, south, and north. Some will come from international market and other stuffs. You understand me?
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean that we should just let everything go as waste. The drivers are also human beings. They also voted. They also have a right to vote. You understand me? So if we are all saying that the fuel prices are going up, I think exactly when I saw it, that was last week, and then I also listened to the transport minister. You understand me? He was also not implementing that for now. They wanted all of them to come together. You understand me? For us to know how we can be able to give percentage of how much cost you want to sell your product or whatever, or increase of fares. You understand me? So it doesn't mean that whilst we are there today, we are hearing that we'll be able to increase the fuel prices or whatever, then all of a sudden someone will come out and come and give a percentage that what we should do, we should just increase it 20%. I think government also have its purpose to also come and also intervene for the people. You understand me? So this is not political. You understand? So what is meant for us to be said, we also say it clearly. You understand me? So we are pleading with our people. Even this morning when I was coming, the same fare that I normally pay, that's the same fare. So I think there will be little bargaining to come. You understand? Then when you come to the spare parts, and then there isn't. Some are also complaining about bad roads and whatever. That's why when they go there, so many things. You see, that's I said, we have been going around listening to what citizens are also complaining about. For us to also tell our leaders, we can all see how big push is also going on. You understand? We can't build a country within a day, within a year, but we are still focusing, delivering. You understand me? So we beg with our leaders that when such crisis or such events comes, we should just get closer to our people, so that we'll be able to expatiate what they are supposed to do. We should also come in to intervene for the people. You understand me? So I think things will be done. Things will be done very, very well. Sure.
So you clearly, from your submission, you clearly admit that fuel prices are going up, and it is right that the drivers also increase their fares. But looking at 20% increase in fare, what is the government expected to do about that? Could they bargain for it to come down maybe to 10 or 5%? Or
as I said initially, when I'm coming from Ablekuma to Dansoman, it's 8 cities. You understand me? If we are still going to go according to the 20% that the drivers are demanding, you can imagine how much fare I'm going to pay. But still, it does not be increased. Even though they've brought in the statement or whatever, it does not be increased. So I think that there will be a background checks and then some little bargain. You understand? So that we'll be able to have a convenience environment and a convenience country, so that everybody will go up and down with whatever he or she want to achieve doing this or a daily or itinerary. You understand? So I think exactly when we saw the increment, which is 20% on there, all of a sudden the transport minister also came on air to be able to tell them that we should hold on. You understand? Let us all come together, even though we are all seeing it. This one you can't politicize and everything. You understand? But for you to have a good governance, listen to what the people are saying. Come together. Don't just get up and impose 20% on them. You understand? We can also do something. You hope you understand what I'm doing. So as you said, I'm sure that there will be a fair bargain, so that we'll be able to have a good flow activity.
Right. Mr. Mutale, is there anything the government can do better?
Thank you very much. Good morning to you, and as usual, let me go through the usual rituals by extending our greetings to our cherished listeners and your production team. yourself and then my good friend Mr. Moses here, I would also like to run out to extend my greetings to the entire leadership of New Patriotic Party, from national to the polling station executive, most especially the youth in Northern Region. And I must apologize to them. If I think during the festival of Salah, I went to the region, but I couldn't touch all the district because of the time constraint. So I sincerely apologize to them for that matter. But to the issue of Lord Fair increment and then whether government can do something better or not, I think this is a conversation that we seem to be we seem to be roaming about it. The singular thing that government can do to curb this thing, not just only this government but subsequent governments, is the fact that we should identify the factors that leads to this fuel prices increment. And if we are done as identifying that, then we agree. Even if we identify and we don't agree that that is the factors, it will also be another problem. So as a country, what government needs to understand is that the factors that affect and that leads to this increment in transport fare is always fuel price and spare parts dealers.
Yeah.
Aside that, these road issues is another key factor. And just as we cannot get it done at a go, we need to be systematic and we need to be consistent in dealing with it. Why am I saying so? If you look at the time MPP government actually realized that, the previous MPP government actually realized that we had these factors affecting us, and that is what is leading to increment in transport fare. The then Vice President, His Excellency Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, said that then if that's the case, why don't we start transitioning to electric vehicles, which doesn't depend on fuel, so that when we are affected externally, you know, all these things started, these thoughts started coming up after we were affected by exogenous factors. And today, NDC, whether not only NDC, any meaningful Ghanaian, unless of course you want to say that you are just the devil, who will not agree that external factors is affecting our fuel sector in this country, because of the Iran and then the Israel issue. And if that is true today, then we should agree that it was true yesterday too. So that is why we are saying that it is proper for us to transition from these engine combustion vehicles and then move to electric vehicles. In fact, these vehicles, they are very nice. If you sit in them, you like if you use them before, you realize that on this flight, because they are very comfortable. They are comfortable, and then they don't depend on fuel. They don't also they are not also expensive when it comes to maintenance. That is the fact. So we should be thinking about, government should be thinking about how to transition from these engine combustion vehicles to electric vehicles, just as His Excellency Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia started. Even they procure some, and then I don't know whether the supplier didn't finish or why, but they only managed to bring only 10 of them.
And we're expected to.
And we're expected to receive about 100 or something of them, or 90s or something.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is that if you recall, just recently, the transport minister is Dr. What's the name? Honorable Nimbe. Commission the new buses that came. What is going to be the change of bringing those vehicles? Even those vehicles, if they are in the system, even if you want, you can bring thousands of them. Once there is external factors affecting the fuel supply, then it means that it's going to affect the load fare charges. That's the fact. So I was expecting that they should have continued to see how best they will increase the number of electric vehicles. As we speak, if you are in your traffic and you are consuming fuel, if you are in the road and then you are consuming fuel, then we wouldn't be worried because we are using electric vehicle.
We shouldn't also forget the fact that we have problems with energy.
Yes, you see, so even with the energy, even it's still the same. Fuel is still under the energy sector. So even with the energy, you realize that energy sector problem, I have always been saying it. It's just that we want to always be political about it. And that is why we are where we are today. Energy problems always come during the hot season. As it started raining, though the doomsday is still there, but do you see that the lights out coming frequent compared to last month?
Well, there's been a communique that there's even going to be lights out from 1st to 7th of June.
Yes, but
so
I'm saying that
what happens to the drivers using electric vehicles?
So what I'm saying is that no, definitely there will be
alternatives.
There will be alternatives. Even as this is not a permanent. You understand what I'm saying? For example, this fuel supply we are talking about, if it is only dependent on the stop of the war, if it doesn't stop, but this like electricity issue, we know that even aside that, let's forget about power issues. You remember Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia also brought the idea of this solar system, solar plant system. Even it was part of his promise that when you come, you're going to make sure that there is free import duty on solar, so that they can bring solar to the country and then make solar plantation, which can supplement the power and reduce the pressure in the power sector. So this is some of the things that I think government should be doing. But if you want to continue to say you want to engage the people, in fact, remember the last time I told you, I have a sister, I've always been going to Peking and I've been experiencing what is going through, what some of the drivers are going through. It's not their fault.
In as much as the electric vehicles are commendable, that you rely on electricity, and as I've mentioned that we have power issues as well, that's not the only issue when it comes there. We should also consider our roads as well, because there was a time I ordered for a ride and then it was an electric car. The driver left me on the road that he was not going to use that road. So I had to alight, walk to somewhere clearer before I was able to continue my journey again. One thing he said was that electric vehicles are expensive to maintain, and if anything gets spoiled right now, that means that you have to pay for import duties for the parts of the cars to be imported before he'll be able to fix. So he didn't use that route.
So he's talking about
that left passengers like me as a passenger very stranded. So if we should rely heavily on electric vehicles,
you see, before he comes in, I think what he said was right, but not to the full extent. Why am I saying so? It is because there are no much electric vehicles in the system. That is why there are no spare parts. Do you understand what I'm saying? So the fact that the supply is low, if you need it and then you have to travel far or you have to get it from a distance, it will be expensive. But if we adopt that system and then the spare parts dealers also start importing them and you can get them just around Abusoken, I'm sure that it will not be. But the roads are also a major factor. Just as we are saying, like we did a lot of roads construction. Even we didn't finish some. They saw the need to include them in their big push agenda. Let's see how it goes. We saw the minister being vocal and then serious about it. But as to whether they really mean business, let's pray that. I'm serious. Let's pray that, because we had situation whereby some contractors took roads and then they are not serious about it. Then you only see few people standing at the bridge trying to construct the bridge with using a full month. It's not from government. You understand? And you saw that the minister was warning those contractors that some of them he may even terminate. If somebody is acting like that, he will terminate his contract. So for me, we will still have challenges, but it will not be giving us this BP. Because as I speak, if they are going to increase fuel price 20%, and I have to take a car, not only car, even those who will take flight to north, I wonder how much.
In addition to what my brother was saying, there's certain things we don't bring politics into it. You understand me?
Yeah.
Government or governance is a continuing process. Something, you understand me? For you to be able to achieve a goal towards whatever you want to achieve, you understand me? You see, he was talking about electric vehicles. It is very, very important.
Yeah.
Who doesn't want anything good in his or her own country? But when we come like this, I say that as a leader, we plan, we organize, we direct, and then we also control things. we can't just get up and say that we are bringing more of what these electrical cars. As you said, most of our roads are very, very bad, especially the inner roads are very, very bad. And this is when I can also commend Honorable Abuja about how serious he is. This man does not sleep in his office, neither sits for you to even see him, because this big push is not a joke. You understand me? We are using a lot of taxes to invest. It is between life and death. You understand me? So when my brother spoke about the electrical cars and co, I also asked myself, how many people are being trained for them to be able to do maintenance about these cars? We are talking about spare parts.
Yes.
A lot of cars here, some of them you don't even have their spare parts. For you
That's
to even
true.
import them and bring them here is
That's
not a joke.
very expensive.
You understand? I always ask myself that in their era, they bought a lot of buses. How many buses are even operating? These Metro Mass buses or whatever. We lack maintenance in this country. You understand me? We lack maintenance in this country. When I heard that our government will be able to buy new buses, 100 buses or 300 buses, we're all happy. But we should ask ourselves, how is the maintenance going to be felt or seen? Do you understand me? Because when I was coming, just a look my careful, go and see people who are stranded. You are going to work, whether private or government. Your boss are there waiting for you to ask you 8:30 you need to be at work. But what is the time? Most of them are also stranded there. You understand me? Even though we can bring a lot of buses, but let us ask ourselves, maintenance. Even though my party is in power, but it's not only serving me, it is serving all of us here. You understand me? So we plead with our people. Yes, we are talking about fuel. Fuel also comes in with this transportation. It all comes together. Talking about energy. Whenever I hear by people or the other parties saying doom so, no problem. I'm not going to shift any blame to anybody. We call it maintenance because there are a lot of maintenance works that must be done. You understand me? Oh yes, we have a lot of maintenance. That has been, we all saw how the transport this new transformers being brought and whatever. We need to disperse everything. I think last week or last 2 weeks they were able to finish with Kumasi. Have you ever heard anybody from that place complain? Yes, maybe 1 or 2 transformers may come together and to bring any faulty these operations. And all of a sudden, we are not like the former minister of energy that will tell us that if you know that there is doom so, go and do your own timetable. We all saw how Honorable Jinapo is also doing whatever he's supposed to do. And we say kudos to them. You understand me? We are all trying our possible best. As I said that NDC is not a perfect political party. But whenever issues come, we accept it and also make sure that Ghanaians will also see it. You understand me? So please, we should all pray for our leaders that if it affects you, it can also affect me. You understand me? So fuel prices, yes, it has come. But we'll be able to regulate things very, very well.
Right. We'll be able to regulate things very well so that we'll all be at ease. That is what the government is going to do for the people. Right. At this juncture, we are going to be delving into our main topic for discussion. For our first discussion will be on Parliament passing the anti-LGBTQ plus bill. Finally. It's not like we haven't seen this before.
Oh, yeah.
It has been passed before, and it has been passed again. One of the Catholic bishops said we shouldn't be excited because we've been here before and we didn't see anything. So what is the assurance or what is the probability that this time around we are going to see better results, or we are not going to hear that there's a challenge again with the bill that we have to go to Supreme Court or go for legal counseling and legal whatever we have to go for. But this time around, we are just hoping that since it's been passed, we see that immediate effect is being done to it. How do you feel about the passage of the bill?
I was so excited. I was so excited, and I was so encouraging others that they should not worry. See, you see, it says Excellency Jodomani Mahama is a verb. When I say that it's a verb, people don't understand.
Is a doing word?
Good. You understand me? Then this LGBTQ was one of our major campaign promises. You understand whatever I'm talking about?
Yeah.
When we talk about LGBTQ, it's a serious issue, but people take it for granted. But His Excellency Jodomani Mahama stood firm. You understand me?
Yeah.
And they made it known to our Ghanaian people that whenever he's being sworn in as a president of this Republic of Ghana, he will not look left and right. Let the parliamentarians do their needful. Bring it to me. I also do the needful. He also went ahead, said that, oh, he's an AG member, Assemblies of God member. Am I telling lies? Which I'm also part of them. And I was so excited hearing such a man, bold and firm man, telling us what he's capable of doing. And truly, Parliament has been able to pass it. Who are we waiting for? Everything will be sent to him. And I'm sure that, and I believe that John Dramani Mahama is not going to joke about it. We all saw our traditional leaders, Gamman Church, talking about it. Ashanti Otumfo talking about it. Muslim people were also talking about it. You understand me? All some unnecessary scandals that came out saying that our education minister has been able to input this sexual habit or whatever into
content into letters,
which we don't even understand. Are you sure that Honorable Haruna Dusu has said that?
Well, it's been.
You understand me? Good. So you see, it is time for us to all come together, whether MPP or NDC, to be able to be firm to ascend this LGBTQ document. And I believe, you understand me? I believe, because see, pressure is coming from Christian, Muslims, traditionalists, and in fact, you and I. Look at how beautiful you are. Look at how beautiful you are. Look at the way you are smiling at me. If I want to go and get married, I should go and marry my Why? Who does these things? You understand me, my sister? Who does these things? You see, this thing that Bible has already, said a lot of things about it. And we, that God created us in his own image and likeness. He also went on to tell us, he also believed in two agenda. Man and woman coming together to be able to get married and form a family. Who does this thing? You understand me? So are you sure that a reasonable leader like His Excellency John Dramani Mahama will never send his signature on it? No. You understand me? That's the same way that Honorable Sam George, wherever he is, I said God will bless him. This man stood firm, fought, and later on, when the MPP, I think our first year in government, when the MPP, someone when that so many issues was occurring, but the man stood firm. He said that John Dramani Mahama, if he doesn't sign this bill, he will never know rest. And the man, wherever he goes, even recently, I think last month, Honorable, what's the name, Speaker of Parliament was at Ewutu Senya, Kaswa. Yes, you understand me? He also had a press there telling them that he is the third man of the land. He will also make sure that His Excellency John Dramani Mahama will also see to this. What are we waiting for? It's a process, but I don't think that this process will keep long. We're all here when Parliament passed this bill. We sent it to the former president. They wrote a love letter for us, telling us that the former Minister of Finance, telling us that we are going to lose about $3.5 billion in our financial issues or whatever.
If the bill is not signed.
Yes, tell me. So are we thinking about life or money? Are we thinking about our life or money? Look at the way the finance minister currently is working at 247. Look at the way he's working. This man said that we have money in Ghana. How did we see things? We are still striving hard to be able to use, you and I, our taxes, to be able to develop our country. So we should not follow that $3.5 billion for us all to go to hell. I'm telling you, because this thing, the word of God speaks all about it. And by the grace of God, by the grace of Allah, you and I, we are all awake this morning. So if you are doing something that the word of God is against it, are you trying to tell me that you can be a good leader? Because Sundays, we all go to church. You go with your mother and father. You go with your brothers and sisters. How will you feel that by the time you wake up, Moses has sent you wedding invitation? Me and my brother here are getting married. Like, how will you feel? You understand me? Once we have beautiful ladies outside there. So please, we beg our leaders that there is hope. We are resetting all aspects of this country. This is also why our campaign deals. And by the grace of God, people voted for us. They gave us that trust. So I don't think that John Dramani Mahama will be like former president and Adu Dankwa Akufo-Addo. You understand me? So we should all go according to whatever we promise the people. Because at the end, they are going to hit to campaign grounds again. people are going to hold you accountable. So what are you also going to tell the people? And I believe that Dr. Mahama will make sure that he does the needful. Sure.
Right. Thank you, Mr. Moses. Mr. Mutalib, how do you feel about the bill? Should we trust that it will be signed?
Okay, Madam, I think the question as to whether we should trust the bill signing or not is not important to me. But what is important is that what is the bill about? What is this or anti-LGBTQ about? But before I come to that, if our technician will help us, he said Mama will not be like Nanado by not signing the bill. In fact, in his first submission, he said that when the bill was sent to the president, they wrote them a lengthy letter. Abeg, please, if your technician can help us, so that you play a video of President Mahama saying that the bill was never sent to Nanado for our cherished listeners, not for me to see. Please, so if technician is ready, you can do that for us, so that I will continue.
President Mahama said
yes,
the bill was never sent.
It was never sent to the president. Please, can you play that video for us?
Once our own Speaker of Parliament made him known to the people of Ewutu-Senya.
Yes, so I'm coming. So I want you to play the video.
You understand? I'm not
the one.
A lot of letter for us.
So that means that Nana Adedankwe Akufo-Addo never received the bill.
Please, can you allow me, just as I did for you? I want is the technician ready with the video?
Producer.
If you can play the Jomama video.
Family values bill. You were all aware of what happened the last time during the past administration. There was a legal tussle, and somebody filed an injunction against Parliament to injunct the Speaker from forwarding the bill to the President for assent. And so the situation is that the bill was never submitted to the President for assent. So it was not submitted, and the President did not assent. And by the Constitution, any bill that is not assented to by the President before the expiration of the life of Parliament expires. And so it means that the bill has to be relayed to get a video in the House. The Speaker has given notice.
So just as we wait for the video,
President John Dramani Mahama.
So just as we wait for the video, I wish to state that our friends in NDC are not honest to themselves and the good people of this country. Because if my friend Moses here says that the bill was sent to Nanado, and the president of the land, if Honorable Kingsford Sumaini Bagbe said the bill was sent to Nanado, and the president of the land says that the bill wasn't sent to his predecessor, which of them should we take serious? Which of them do you think we should take serious? So that alone tells Ghanaians that these people, they are just lying for their political score.
But why didn't you sign the bill?
I'm saying that you are talking about signing the bill. As the headline came, have Mama signed the bill?
He has not signed the bill.
Good. I'm asking you. Wait, I'm asking. Has he signed the bill?
No, he has not signed
the Parliament has passed it. Has he signed the bill? Why? Have they sent it to him? No.
He has not.
Please, can you do that? Can you allow me? I'm asking a question to make a point. Has he signed a bill? No. Why? It hasn't gotten to him. Is that not it?
So does that
mean Mama said that the bill never got to President Akufo-Addo. That's why I want them to play the video.
And I also have the this letter from the Secretary of the President.
Please, why are you doing this?
What
is your time? You rebuttal.
Mr. Saki. Producer, is the video ready? Right. Let's proceed.
Let's rebuttal. We are in this country that we know that people
all aware of what happened.
Information. But this is a video. This is a video of President Mahama speaking, and not me. I want him to play it before I continue with my submission. Unfortunately, I don't know the technical problem that the video is not ready. But as and when it's ready, I'm sure the producer will play it. That notwithstanding, this whole thing of anti-LGBTQ, that today Honorable Sam George is coming out to defend the need for them to protect, the need for them to regulate, and the need for them to give boundaries to the bills, so as to protect the human rights of these individuals. Because even if somebody should somebody accuse you of being practicing gay or lesbianism, then you can have the right to take a lawyer. The need for you to go for counseling from a psychiatrist or what have you. Did you see that yesterday? Those changes that they think that it is right to be done today, the Honorable Sam George and his colleagues see those changes necessary yesterday. We are not talking about, we as minority, we are not saying that LGBT matters are good and we are supporting it. No, that's not what we are saying. If you recall, the challenges for which, in fact, even what for which President Mahama mentioned, that the bill could not reach to the president was because it was facing some court injunctions. He stated it in the video. Because people had problem that should I be accused that I am practicing gay, you mean I don't have right for to defend myself, or to deny that no, it's not true, by appearing in court and defending my case. These were the reasons why the issues were the bill was injuncted. You understand? Even today, people are saying that they became excited and they don't see why minority is against the passage of the bill today. Even when yesterday, because they've made changes, and then when we're in power, they raise those same concerns. The reason why minority is not agreeing to this bill that was passed by Parliament is because those days, in the past government, under the past government, they raised those same questions, and then majority today insisted that no, there was no need for any single change. There was no need for any amendment in any part of the bill. So why is it that today, the bill that you send to His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, you cannot send that same bill to His Excellency John Dramani Mahama to sign, but you have to amend something clauses so that it will not give him a room to sign. If indeed Parliament has passed the previous bill that was passed without touching it, then there was no need for us to sit here and talk about it again. We would have said that NDC is actually party that works with their talk.
But was the amendment necessary? The amendment the NDC made, was it necessary?
It's necessary. It's very necessary. That's why I'm saying that the NDC actions show how hypocritic and then how insincere they are they were to these people, the good people of this country.
So the amendment they made is necessary.
It's necessary. So why did they objected? Why did they objected the amendment during Akufo-Addo's time? They said no.
But you had majority.
I'm saying which majority?
But you had majority.
You know the state. Please. You know the you knew the state of.
If you don't understand, then go to court.
Oh, please.
Simple.
You knew the. That's why.
Just go to court. That's it.
I think it's fair you allow me to.
Oh no.
Yeah, Mr. Saki.
Because
Mr. Saki, please let me listen.
But
no, when it's your time. When it's time, then you rebut. You can rebut.
She knows me. I can do this one.
Oh, okay.
I can do the West.
No problem.
You understand? So you see, what I'm saying is that if indeed these people were sincere to the good people of this country, they should have then agreed that the amendment was necessary then. They said no, there was no need for any single amendment.
So in your words, you mean to say that it was because of the minority, that's why you couldn't pass the bill?
As in?
Yeah, because you are saying that it was because they didn't agree.
It was passed. Don't say that we were not able to pass it.
Wasn't the bill passed? You are saying the amendment. Why didn't you make the amendment they are making now to your previous bill? Why couldn't you make the amendment?
They objected it.
So was that why you couldn't make the amendment?
Yes.
But you had the power to.
We had the which part?
But you had the power to.
No. Which power?
But because
which power do we have?
No.
To
but currently, in as much as NDC
didn't they? I'm asking you. Didn't majority leader raise questions about those clauses that time? Didn't he raise challenge problem about those clauses that time? He did, and then they vocally defended it and said that it was okay. So just to protect your integrity, the minorities felt that okay, if that's the case, why don't we pass it? Why don't we support it? Because so that they don't. The NDC was painting a picture to show that the minority was not interested in passing the bill. Right? So the best is let's all pass it if the thing is good for the country. It was passed as individual felt that this wasn't good. It was dangerous. It was a dangerous bill to this nation, and filed injunction on it. So today, you if indeed you are people of principle, if you are actually principled individuals, you should have sent that same bill. In fact, Honorable Sam George said during interview with TV3 that if that bill that Ghana prepared and Nanado refused to sign, one of the MPs from Kenya just called him and he forwarded it to him, and they do not even change anything. The only thing they did was to remove Ghana and kept Kenya, and then the bill has been signed and then enacted as law in Kenya. He said it. The video is there. I sent it to your producer. He can play that one too.
Producer.
He can play that one too. So why is it that you felt that there was no need for any changes in this bill? Sent to extend that you even sent to international body. You were asking why is it that Kenya can sign that same bill that Nanado cannot sign, and today you feel that it is necessary to make amendment because it's now President Mahama that is going to sign.
Right.
You see, when we behave that way, it means we are not being honest to ourselves. We are not being honest to the good people of Ghana, and then it shows how on principle we are.
Right. I have a question to ask. The minority caucus strongly opposed the amendment, arguing that they suggest the original version of the bill submitted to former President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo for assent was flawed and not fit for purpose. Despite the minority's objection, Parliament still passed this bill. My question here is that if that particular bill was flawed, why didn't they make amendment to it? And my other question will be that you had majority in Parliament, in as much as the NDC had majority now and you had your own reservation, they still passed the bill. Why couldn't you do same previously?
I'm telling you, you knew the circumstances that surrounded
what were the circumstances? For the
what was the differences in the minority? Was it not just a single group? Oh, I'm coming. Was it not just a single number? Was it not it? Wasn't it? And you know, even this bill, the day it was passed, the sponsors of the bill from the majority side were not in Parliament. Do you know that? No, do you know that they were not in Parliament? Sam George and other people were not in Parliament. So assuming they were not having super majority, assuming they were having that tight what's the name? Numbers in Parliament, could they have passed that bill? Could minority allow them to pass that bill?
So there was no.
So I'm telling you that the numbers affected us, whether we like it or not. That's the fact. The numbers affected us, and that was why the bill was passed. But in any case, the minority is saying that we look. You see, even some minority members and myself, what we are saying is that this bill that was sent to President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo was not proper bill. It was dangerous to this country and needed amendment. Just as they did it today, I support the amendment today. And then I will support it. The food is poison.
That's
it. If somebody, that's the fact. You see, if somebody look away, you don't necessarily. For example, those who takes wine or maybe pito. If you are serving somebody, because where you brought the pito, nobody knows how you got it. So when you come, at least you have to taste it small and then give it to. That is it. So if you refuse to taste it, that means there's a question mark. Right. So the fact that NGC people refuse to send the bill to the same bill to President Mahama to sign, we should not be commending them. Right. If they had passed the same bill, that was sent to Nanado, then we would have said that no, these people, they work with their ways. But let me tell you, they are just here to scam the good people of this country.
Right. So let's look at the original version of the bill proposed. So the original version of the bill proposed strict penalties for same-sex sexual relations, LGBTQ plus advocacy and promotion, formation of funding of LGBTQ plus groups, public displays of same-sex affection, media or educational content perceived to support LGBTQ plus rights. The bill also proposed penalties for individuals or organizations accused of promoting LGBTQ plus activity. That was the original version of the bill. Now let's read what has actually changed for that particular bill.
Yeah, sure.
So what has actually changed? The new bill expands the categories of persons who could fall under the law. Beyond individuals identifying as LGBTQ+, the legislation now places greater focus on people involved in advocacy, promotion, sponsorship, support and funding of activities prohibited under the bill. One of the major changes involves Clause 9, which now expressly targets propaganda, advocacy and promotion of LGBTQ+ activities. Supporters argue that this closes loopholes that could allow indirect promotion of prohibited activities. The bill now places greater responsibility on institutions to promote family values. Parents, schools, teachers, religious bodies, traditional authorities, state institutions, and even the media and creative art industries are expected to help preserve and promote those values through education and public engagements. The 2025 version also expands the interpretation section, providing more detailed definitions of terms such as ally, non-binary, and panel sex, intersex, and family values. The most significant amendment is the introduction of exemptions for certain professional and public interest activities. Under the revised bill, the law will not apply to lawyers providing legal advice or representation, journalists and media houses reporting on LGBTQ+ issues in the ordinary course of their work, doctors, psychologists, and counselors providing professional services, researchers, academics, and scientists expressing professional opinions, public health programs, including HIV and AIDS prevention, testing and treatment, proceedings in courts, parliament, and commissions of inquiry. This is a change this current administration made to this.
Mm-hmm. That's it. You see, so my brother was all over making a point which I was just enjoying. One, let's build this foundation when it comes to parliament. Or let's do this calculation. This item and this item, when you add it together, what are you going to get? Is it not two?
Mm-hmm.
You understand me? If this item is a loan year, how many pieces do we have here? It's not just one. So this and this, these two items and this single item, which one is heavier than the other? Mm-hmm. Is it not these two? Mm-hmm. That is why we have majority and minority in parliament. If certain things occurs, we vote. And we know that if you have a majority, probably, definitely, you will get it. Unless your majority also don't support that.
But even me? That, if the minority still doesn't support, since we have majority, you still
definitely
win over the issue.
Sure, because some of the policies, It's not everybody that is in majority that will support it.
Mm-hmm.
Do you understand what I'm talking about?
Yes.
This is a simple calculation that I want my brother to learn from. That in parliament we have majority and then we have minority. It doesn't care like whether it's only one person who is against. Whether it's only one person that is upright for you to have a majority. Still, you have a majority. Do you understand me? So that's why I'm telling you that for this long and short argument, when it comes to LGBTQ, my only interest is that let Ghanaians know the truth about it. That His Excellency John Dramani Mahama is not a joke. He was telling us that the bill was not sent to him. This man,
I didn't say it.
This man,
it's your president that said it.
But you also defending it.
We wouldn't
Please.
be able to play that video because the sound
Please.
is not.
I
is
think
not-
the president said it. It would have been good for you.
But if you
should
have-
say-
if you have
I
it,
didn't
you
say
can
that.
play it for
I
us
didn't
to
say that.
listen.
I didn't say that.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I think I can play it. I think I can play it.
if-
Please, before you continue,
if
I don't want it to
something-
be like I was the one who said
Once
it.
you are searching for it, let
So
him
if
proceed.
Moses has said something here, and you are still going up according to what Moses said, you need to defend yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Do you understand me?
Yeah.
We were here.
So you mean that Mama lied?
even-
You mean that President Mama lied?
This but
Why do you say that I should defend myself? I'm only
understand me? So
okay.
play
Let's
the video and let's
listen.
flow.
Let's listen to.
Family Values Bill. You were all aware of what happened the last time during the past administration. There was a legal tussle, and somebody filed an injunction against Parliament to injunct the Speaker from forwarding the bill to the President for assent. And so the situation is that the bill was never submitted to the President for assent. So it was not submitted and the President did not assent. And by the Constitution, any bill that is not assented to by the President before the expiration of the life of Parliament expires. And so it means that the bill has to be relayed in the House. The Speaker has
Oh no, but the most important point was whether President Mahama has actually said that the bill was not sent to Manado or not. They only served the presidency notice that the bill was ready for them to send it, and then the response from that the secretary to president gave was in response to the letter that they sent. It wasn't the bill that they sent. You can read it. It said upon receipt of your letter. It wasn't the bill. So the president has said it himself, and I'm only quoting that the president said that the bill was not sent to Nanado. So don't sit here and want people to feel that the bill was sent to Nanado that it didn't.
I'm telling you,
Nanado refused to sign the bill. Let's get it clear.
This land.
So you want to tell me that we should take the third person serious than the first person?
Honorable
Thank you,
Kingsford
Mr.
also had a price with the Hutu Senior constituency members, in fact the citizens of this country, telling them on record that the bill was sent to this to the former president. He never signed. You understand me? All that I want to tell the people, the good people of this country, is that the Dramani Mahama is not a joke. You understand me? You are here shouting and talking that this bill is a scam, whatever. What Ghanaians want to know is that the Dramani Mahama is a verb. You can't compare the Dramani Mahama to the former president of this Republic of Ghana. These were some of the reasons why these people lost massively. You understand me? And then I just sometimes imagine how they even come here and come and cook lies for Ghanaians to also believe them. See, now we can't joke with Ghanaians again. Oh. You understand me? You can't come here and tell her that. But when you guys had E-levy, you guys went to court. Right? E-levy. That moment that Ghanaians were telling us, said, no. You were telling us that we should go to court. I can also tell you that this E-levy, this LGBT bill, that you guys think that things has been left out or whatever, we are sending it to John Dramani Mahama to say. Right. I also tell you that you can also go to court. You understand me? Let us also go to court. Let your people also go to court, so that court will also give a final judge.
Right. So what do you make of the amendments and minority also opposing that the amendments, they don't agree with it?
The only final say is that they should go to court. That is all. This will solve the issue. Oh yeah, in that era. When you people were
but are you happy? Are you happy about the amendment?
I'm see, I'm so excited. You see, our leaders there are not joking. No, you understand me? Our leaders there are not joking. You can't tell me that they don't know their left and right, and they are also defending Ghanaians. And you are here, cannot even give us the difference between majority and minority, telling us that only one person. Which gap? We all go for elections. If I win with one, I've won. Am I telling lies or not? You have majority. It even came to a case when one of the presenters, your journalist, was also telling them, what's the name, describing Honorable Fenyo Markins that the minority leader. He was confronting the man that no, I'm still the majority. That one, you know, you never heard of it. Today also defend that you was only one person. We have majority and minority. If you can, we vote. If you still don't understand, we go to court. Look at how fast and quick they were when they brought in levy. When Ghanaians were murmuring, complaining about a lot of taxes being imposed on them, you just fast track everything and went to court because the thing will favor you. Go. This time go again. They all came back and they also won with the levy. They went around cutting cake. I'm sure that you also had some. You understand me? So it is time for us to be serious in this country. We're not joking with Ghanaians. Right. And I bet you that we'll also come here and also come and give thanks to God that Dr. Mandi Mahama will also sign this bill.
Right. According to reports, it said that if these amendments were not made to this, it's going to look like you are infringing on the constitutional rights of the citizen. That is why you have to make amendment to this particular bill. And then hearing from Afenyo Markin in one of his videos, he mentioned that instead of taking these people to prison, they should rather bring up community punishment for them, for these people. What do you say to that as well?
See, Ghana, we are growing up. You understand me? My brother here is very, very intelligent and educated. He knows what is right and bad. You see, sometimes we should not be pampering sin. Did you steal this? Yes, I did. What is the punishment? They were the same people here 10 years that the law is the law. Am I telling lies? Because that time it was favoring them. They can go to court anytime. You understand me? So if our people that we voted for them to go to the chamber to also go and make good decisions for us to also favor us, why are you trying to tell us this and that? You understand me? But that time they did pass it or not. They also went. That's why I don't understand, my brother, giving them the difference between majority and minority. Me, what I believe is that when the bill is being sent to the Secretary General Mahama, you also sit down, look through to see that yes, this will also help us. You understand me? It's also part. You going to prison is also part of punishment, or it's not part. You understand me? So we should do something that will not say that it will favor me, it will not favor my brother, or this and that. This is something that we all don't like it. We all don't like it. I'm sure my brother here who is coming here to defend whatever, he doesn't like it. You understand me? So if the person is still being educated or being cancelled or whatever, no, and the person is still trying to do that, why can't the person go to prison? I think it was 3 to 5 years. Let the person go and serve and come back. But you giving a person this normal, this one, master, this thing there, we don't believe it. You understand? A sin is a sin. Look at the number of years that we are still talking about it. Once we have properties, we want to talk about development and other stuffs. But this is evil. Why are we pampering evil? You understand me? Let us say the truth. Why are we pampering evil? This is not right in our values, in our culture. You should tell us that they also accept this. You understand me? This is not right. Madam. So if there are many this bill whatever, no, may I support it? I support it 100%. So we should just get time. Let the president have it. You should also go through his scanning or whatever. For us to also know our left and right.
So in relation to the video you played to us, this is from transmitting anti-gay bill to Akufo-Addo presidency to parliament. The office of the president has requested parliament to refrain from sending the anti-gay bill to President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo for his assent. The decision, according to Nana Asante, the secretary to the president, stems from the acknowledgement of 2 pending applications for an order of injunction before the Supreme Court.
Simple. So does that mean that case was... Yes, there was case of injunction. So the secretary only notified the parliament that there is injunction on this thing. So there's no need you bringing it to the president. Because you know that when there is injunction on a bill, you can't be sent to president. But you see, my brother, you see, from beginning I said it, this guy, he's very honest to himself. So because of that, making this argument, he's not comfortable. MPP is never defending LGBT to be practiced in this country. That's it. Get it right from me. MPP is saying that the bill that was sent to Nanado to sign, and then the NDC insisted that there's no need for it to be changed, should be the same bill that is sent to His Excellency and John Dramani Mahama, and there should not be changed. That is the simple point. But these majority issues they are talking about, look, you are contradicting yourself. If I said we're having just a single number, and then you are like, once it's majority, and you mention again that in majority, sometimes you might even have a policy or anything to be voted on in parliament, and some of your members will not support it. Haven't been vindicated. I have been vindicated for making the point. Because if we were having just one person ahead of the NDC, and maybe out of the total number, maybe 10 of our members also believe that there was a need to pass the bill without supporting our side, and then supported the minority. How do you think that the bill will not be passed? So that's what I'm talking about. You see, it's not that when you are just a majority, it means that anything you want, you can get it. It depends on the number you have. If you have a very huge number, that no matter the number of people who disappoint your caucus, you can still get what you want to be done. That is how the parliamentary proceedings are done. Quite apart from that, these moral values that he's talking about, nobody is saying that it shouldn't be practiced. This rise, you see, he didn't get the question you asked him. The comment of the minority speaker then, the current minority, the majority speaker then, was about the way the constitution, the bill was, and that it was going to infringe the right of some individuals. So he was given some circumstances. Assuming you today, if you had sat and thought that there is a law that was signed by His Excellency Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo that you should not speak about gay, that is not good. It's not. They didn't put it in context whether you are speaking good or bad about it. You are criticizing about gay. You will pick up. Will you be happy as a journalist? No. So these were the things that individuals saw and then injuncted the bill that was passed by Parliament. So let's get Ghanaians educated that the bill was not something that was good for this nation, and that is why it is good for it to be what? To be amended. You see, the action of MPP minority in Parliament today, it's not because they are saying that the bill they are sending to President Mahama is not good or is bad or what have you, but they are telling them that the bill you people insisted that it was right for Nanado to sign. Send that same bill to Mahama and let's see whether he will sign the bill. And that will show how.
So you wanted them to send it with
so that if Mama sign it, it means that Mama has been vindicated. But now that they now see that no, let's change it. If not, Mama cannot sign. If we don't change it, Mama cannot sign it. That is clear indication of vindication of Nanado. It means that President Nanado has been vindicated, even if indeed the bill was sent to him, as he is claiming. If indeed the bill was sent to him and then he refused to sign, as he is claiming, then it means that he has been vindicated. It means there was problem with the bill. If not, why did they change it? Today, somebody is saying that they are not subjecting it to the Constitution of Ghana. Why didn't they see the need to subject it to Constitution of Ghana when they were pushing for it to be sent to Nanado for signing? He's talking about court. It was a court case that made the secretary to warn the parliament not bringing it to court. They respect court a lot. So some people make application, just as His Excellency John Dramani Mahama said. And because of the respect we have for the judiciary, we said that until those issues are addressed, we shouldn't bring it to the president.
But the court case were dismissed before you left. That was on December 18th, 2024.
Yes.
A 7-member
good.
panel.
So let's agree. That's what I'm saying. That.
So you could have still signed it.
Good. So let's agree that that bill was okay. Let's agree that the bill was okay and doesn't have problem. Why can't NDC people send that same bill to the president John Dramani Mahama, but they have to change some clauses? No. You see, the basic common sense will tell you that. Common sense will tell you that what is good for the goose is equally good for the what? The gander. If that bill was good for President Nanado to sign, I don't have problem with the changes. Like I said, even most of the majority almost all majority, we don't have problem. What we're saying that we want Ghanaians to understand that there was actually problem with the bill that they wanted Nanado to sign. That is the basic point we're making. Otherwise, if you indeed want us to say that you people are you are talk and do, you do what you say, then you should sign on the same bill that you wanted Nanado to sign. Am I not right asking this them to do this thing? I'm right.
But I think you asked him a question. You understand me? Because the way he was writing, he did not understand the question. Even though the court case
the Supreme was dismissed. You
They
think
had
they
a-
had
responded
they had
to it.
time?
I responded to it. She asked,
So-
and I said, granted that Nanado refused to what? To sign it. As the court case was dismissed. I'm saying,
So my main issue is that you are rattling here.
So wait.
So what prevented him?
I'm coming.
From signing that?
Good. So now, 3 weeks, as you said,
Uh-huh.
after the court dismissed the case, the parliament sent the bill to him. No, did they send the bill to him? No, I'm asking you a question. Did parliament send the bill to him? No, it's not about MPP. You see, let's be factual about. You see, for me, trust me. If this had happened to any president, regardless whether President Nanado or maybe some people or His Excellency John Dramani Mahama or whoever, in this manner, I will not be happy as well. Because if you are telling me that the court dismissed it, why didn't they send it? President Mahama said that it wasn't sent to Nanado Don Kufuor for signing. So that 3 weeks, if Parliament had sent the bill to Nanado and then he didn't sign, then that is where we would have this conversation around. But the bill was injuncted, the court dismissed it, and Parliament didn't see the need sending it to what? President. And in fact, the letter that the presidency gave Parliament was not just that don't bring the bill, it was that there is court case until the court case is exhausted, and it is exhausted. So why didn't the Parliament send it again? So for me, I'm saying that this bill that they have amended, look, we are raising concerns because we want Ghanaians to understand that these people, what they were sending to President Nanado to drink, it's not what they want to send to Mahama because they know that it's poisonous. Otherwise, the amendment is necessary. It's very necessary because journalists should be allowed to make news, to report news.
Who said that when journalists?
No, that was the first. That was the first this thing. That's the first thing. So this now that they are making the assumptions. Are you getting me? Those assumptions are very right. For example, as a professional, maybe psychiatric who advise people on mental issues and whatever, depression. If somebody has those issues and the person comes for counseling, I should be able to offer the person what?
Definitely.
You understand? Even these people that are doing it and they are saying that they should change before they face the law, as they are changing, we don't know them, but as they are changing, they will go through some. So they should be able to what? Go through counseling. Quite apart from that, if I should lie on Mr. Moses that he's practicing gay, he should be able to get a lawyer to defend him. And in law court, do you want to say that the judge should speak without talking about the gay matter? No. These were the assumptions that were necessary. But when we were speaking, some judge said no. Even Kenya MP took it from him, and they only changed Ghana and kept Kenya, and they have enacted it. And you say, why can't Nanado sign it?
Right. Thank you, Mr.
But the
Mutali.
old president, former vice president, said that if we do everything today, what can we do tomorrow?
Like I don't understand. No, yes, you see some points that somebody makes. Some points that somebody makes is in a context. If somebody make a point, it's in context. I get me.
But you see,
but
what I've just said is not in contest.
As in. No, but you see what? Good.
Right. Let me hear from you.
It's different. It's different. These are two different things.
Right.
If you do everything today, what do you do tomorrow? It's different from you saying that the bill has no problem, and today you are telling me it has problem.
So the back and forth about this is that we want the progressiveness in our religious families and values. You understand me? What is needful, our leaders should do it for us, so that Ghanaians will be happy. Because this back and forth about LGBTQ or whatever, it will never bring any progressiveness to anybody here. Maybe because you are evil, That is how come you also want this to pass through or not. You understand me, please? So with all due respect, what I want to say is that I'm sure government or parliament has been able to pass it. Before it will reach to the president, he's also going to go through and do the needful as soon as possible. You understand me? So if our minority leaders, respected of course, don't understand certain things, it is not time to go back and forth or whatever. Even though we have political colors in this, they should also go to court. Court also has a final judgment to be on, so that will also do the needful. You understand me? So I pray that everything will go on well successfully, so that we'll be also have a peaceful country and also a blessed country, of course. Yeah.
So we should be hoping that we won't have any legal challenge through this as well.
That's when, if our minority leader are still persistent.
Why are we persistent?
For them
we
to
are
also
not
go
persistent.
You understand?
We will not face any legal challenges because we earlier raised the same concerns.
Let him finish.
You see. Oh, me, I understand him. You see.
Okay.
Because they failed to sign it. That is why he's having energy to talk. That's how we like to
we also pass it like you before.
So that I said that if there's anything like legal issues about it, it depends on what one will also bring on board. You understand? As at now, we don't know whether they will go to court or not. But I wish for us to have a Democrat parliament in this chamber. If they don't understand anything, they also know the right channel to pass, so that we also have a successful, bill passed.
Right. So we are just hoping that in the coming weeks, we'll see that the president is assenting to the anti-LGBTQ.
The change anti-LGBTQ.
The changes for the betterment of all of us. Otherwise, if you say LGBTQ, they'll come for you.
The amended LGBTQ.
But I think we've read the amended version of it, and we agree that it's for the betterment of the country.
It's for the betterment of the country. But yesterday, NDC people do not agree. This is some of the things that I want media people to be letting Ghanaians know, so that they know the double standard these NDC people are playing.
You can advocate for that.
You don't sit yesterday in Parliament and say that this thing wasn't for the betterment of Ghana. Today you want us to agree that we are just agreeing what you made us to believe in yesterday.
So if you don't agree, go to court. That is all.
Did you go to court when
you we know that when we go there.
When did they go
to your era?
When did they go to Madam, ask her.
It do not favor us.
Madam, ask her.
Don't go there at all.
Ask him whether
when you guys went to E-Levy instantly. Oh.
Even whether you agree or not, majority still took the vote.
Forget about what you're telling
me. No, see, what happened? Why
bring this country for?
Let me tell you, why it was for me the passage of E-Levy. The passage of E-Levy, it was. I would say that it was NDC that caused it. Why? No. Why? Because you were having No, you see, why am I saying that? Let me explain my point. You were having almost equal numbers. Is that not it?
Equal numbers.
If you had also marshaled your people in Parliament. Definitely there are some members of the majority side would have supported it and you would have won the case. But you walked out of the Parliament so that you allow the majority to do it, and then you come and say that you're not. But are you not introducing E-Levy? You say you are scrapping it. Are you not introducing it? What are you suspending? What are you ordering for suspension? For broader consultation.
After all
it means that you wanted to do it without consultation. Now you are introducing it for broader consultation.
No. You see, I won't allow you to continue.
You will not allow me to continue. Oh, really?
No.
Madam, but that's the fact. What misinformation? Who can tell me? Tell me there's misinformation. No, tell me there is misinformation that NDC people didn't say that they should suspend the introduction of this electric. In fact, as we speak, NDC is charging every online transaction. You can verify it.
Please, Tigo hasn't been charged. Then there's only MTN.
Online transaction is different from Madam. Online transaction is different from telecom transactions.
Online.
You can.
Have you been charged this morning?
For what?
You asked me for what?
I've not done any online transaction. I'm not doing online business.
My brother.
I'm not doing online business.
My brother.
Let's proceed.
The GRA, you can go to GRA website. It's there. This wasn't part of our conversation. I would have brought you the evidence. GRA website.
Why didn't you bring it?
I'm saying that it wasn't part of our conversation. It's just because he's bringing the E-Levy.
Because I know.
Because he's talking about E-Levy that I want Ghanaians to know and our cherished listeners to know that he's polluting their minds.
You see,
the NDC wanted to put this e-levy back through a back door, and we caught them. So the best thing is to say that we are suspending it.
So why is
for
it
broader consultation?
So why is it only MTN and not all the networks?
Talk about
Why is it?
Why is it only MTN and not all the networks?
It is because NTN people decided to share the messages. I'm telling you. Oh no! You see, let me tell you. No. Hey, who told you that? Who told you that? Who told you that? Oh, Master, who told you that it wasn't all networks?
It was.
Oh, Master, madam.
It wasn't all network.
Okay. It's MTN.
I never received any message.
That's why I'm telling you that, because MTN sent you a message. If Tigo people decided not to send you a message and then you do transaction and it affects you, what will you say?
I've done a lot of
I'm asking you, do this
telecom
these telecom institutions, are they operating on their own? They are operating under the Ministry of Communication.
Let's not continue.
So did they take any introduction of tax without consultation?
All right, thank you so much. Let's proceed. Let's proceed. As a matter of fact, they are even quiet about this.
But then he raised it. If you say you are quiet, he raised it.
Let's proceed.
When?
The National Information Technology Authority Bill 2025 is a proposed law in Ghana that seeks to transform the current National Information Technology Agency in a stronger regulatory authority responsible for overseeing the country's digital and ICT sector. The bill is intended to replace part of the existing NITA Act of 2008 and updates Ghana's digital laws to reflect changes in technology. What the bill seeks to do, according to the new NETA bill, is that to regulate and license ICT companies and service providers, develop and enforce standards for digital systems and infrastructure, certify ICT professionals and practitioners, approve ICT procurement and projects undertaken by public institutions, and maintain a national database of ICT assets and digital infrastructure, promote innovation, cybersecurity, and digital transformation. Supporters of the bill argued that Ghana's current ICT laws were passed in 2008 before the rise of technologies such as artificial intelligence and cloud computing, blockchain, fintech, and large-scale digital services. They believe stronger regulation is needed to improve standards, protect consumers, strengthen cybersecurity, and coordinate the country's digital development. So that is it. And there's been a lot of backlash because they mentioned that if you are someone in circle and you don't have the license, there's a probability you'll be taken on, and there's a sanction as that. And it came with its own backlash and controversies. But what do you make of the bill?
Oh, I think this bill already exists. You understand?
Yeah. 2008, yeah.
But we want it to be more implemented. And I think specifically for our government sectors, when it comes to auditing, how we share information outside, then this hacking of systems, frauding, cyber crime or whatever on it. I think when this bill is being sent to Parliament once again, for it to be amended seriously, it will help us.
Yeah.
You understand me? It's all about security. It is all about security. And then I think that our e-government system, look at the scandal that occurred. Look at the scandal that occurred about NSS, ghost names and code. These are also part. Because, you see, sometimes I always say that some of our leaders should always think about Ghanaians first. Don't just bring something that will never favor you, but will bring burden on we the citizens. You understand me? Let us be transparent enough. And I think this bill, if it's seriously taken, you understand, and being amended seriously, we will not be having these ghost names and other scandals around, because we also have the system that will track us whether we are going wayward or not. And I was so happy that it's not only meant for Ghana, for government, it's also meant for private individuals. Because sometimes, you see, I think that when I heard about the circle issue, about the phone repairs, I was so happy, because a friend of mine has been affected before.
Oh, really?
When she gave a phone to a repairer, the repairer knows how to go inside. They don't even know. They go and, like, especially their pictures and go. Then later on, they'll transfer it to another phone. So whilst you are there, once a while, you get this message. you get these views and whatever on social media. You ask yourselves, how come it will take years for you to recover that? My phone is saying I'm going to be. You understand me? So all these things will also try and track us for us to do the needful. You understand me? This is not any pressure. This is not going to be any pressure or whatever for us to also talk about it. And I think this will also favor both MPP and NDC, especially our leaders. Our leaders. You understand me? And our workers too. So when this bill is being passed, I think it's going to help us.
Right.
Yeah.
Mr. Mutali, what do you make of the bill?
Yes, let's give gratitude to His Excellency the former President John Ajakungufu. Why are you laughing, senior?
No.
And for realizing that there was a need for us to regulate or get a common platform for our government sector for dissemination of informations and then all that not. Even though I think that the idea was that limited in the Act 2008, simple because these current AI system and other things hadn't emerged.
Yeah.
And just as those things start coming, there is a need for us to make amendment and then what? Regulate how we patronize it and then use it daily. So for me, it is very important as a country to understand that individual institutions in this country, especially government institutions, buying different systems, like using different systems, buying it at certain cost. Some people even inflate the cost of how much they buy systems. You understand? So that if you are buying a single system from individual, just as the veteran politician of MPP, Honorable Brian Achampon, did for Controller and Accountant General Department, and he became rich, and NDC people thought that he stole the state. If we are doing that for somebody, it should be something that should be done once, but not it is done here and done here and done here, and at the end of the day, it is costing the taxpayers. Because if Ministry of Information is going to purchase system for their ministry, and then finance will do so, labor will do that, then all that. In fact, even if you don't take care, you get into the ministry, the various agencies will be forced to also go in for specific systems to manage their agencies. And buying a system from individual is very expensive. But trust me, if you are able to develop a system to coordinate all the media houses in this country, the money you will make, maybe apart from somebody become president and giving money to his brother to buy jet, you'll be richer than anybody in this country.
I hope when you're called,
so
you'll be able to provide the evidence. I'm not associated.
I've not said,
you just said that when the president gives
I said apart from somebody becoming president, I made a point clear. I said apart from somebody becoming president and giving money to his brother to buy.
Let me just exclude
or
myself.
Maybe somebody become president and decide to give the property of
GhanaTalks radio is not associated to the comments you just made. So if you are called,
I'm making assumptions.
I just hope that you be
I'm
able
making
to
assumptions. So if somebody wants, he can call me to anywhere. I said that if you're able to develop a system,
but some assumptions, if you can't defend it, you face
what?
the law.
What is?
It's not always that
level. An assumption. I made an assumption that it seeks to talk about future. Have I spoken about somebody do something? Unless you are guilty, that you will say that guilty conscience will not allow you to let me flow. But what I'm saying is that if Madam is able to develop a system that is able to manage any sector or the government sector and then sell it to government, she become rich. In fact, she become rich for an entire generation. That's a fact. So that you don't make people extort taxpayers' money once at a time from different agencies or from different departments. This is what I'm talking about. But you see, what we need to appreciate is that along the line, the current presidential candidate of New Patriotic Party, who was the vice president then, His Excellency Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, stated that the NDC is finding difficulties to understand the link between digitalization and then economy.
Why was he saying so? Because just as my brother indicated, because of these ghost names and some individuals even being serving, somebody is taking double salary because he was a teacher and has joined health sector, and then they could not detect it. It is affecting our economy because they are paid with taxpayers' money, isn't it? And if that happens, is it not costing the economy? It is. So, but if you adopt the digitalization that keep these people on one platform, as soon as you are out from this system, from this ministry or this department, it will prompt to all the ministry that this person has left here. Or as soon as you enter a particular place, it will, if there is duplicate, it will indicate, and that alone, it will save the economy. In that regard, in this context, what we are talking about for now. So let's appreciate that there was a need for us to focus on digitalization as the then Vice President was doing. Because if indeed we want our economy to become better, people look, just as in this instance he gave.
You should be wrapping up.
Yes, the instant he gave. If I have given my information to or my phone to a repairer to repair, only to realize that my sensitive information has been linked, I'll be distracted. Yes. I will lose focus, and I may not be able to run my business. And if that happens, it is going to affect the country economy as well. Because I will not be able to, if I'm not running the business, probably the taxes, I'll become default of tax paying.
Right. Mr. Saki.
Yes, please.
How would this bill actually contribute to Ghana's digital transformation agenda?
It will give us a better government. You understand me?
Yeah.
For us to all, have a good, public institutions to come together to have one integrity. Which is that when it comes to our data systems, as I always say that with the NSS scandal, it is a shame for us to have such mindset. Because if we are having a monitoring data system, this thing may not occur. You understand me?
Yeah.
And it's also going to bring more protection into our systems. You understand me? So it's going to, unveil those people who don't have an authorized license to regulate in this country. You understand me? And it's also going to bring a new, like, these things are going to bring a lot of employment when some of the youth are being trained well for these monitoring systems. You understand me? So it's going to bring a lot of things for us to also have a right information for us to see and to know. Because you just get up, something that you don't know about it, then someone alleged will gossip about you. Meanwhile, your integrity also pays a lot. Understand me? So as a country, I think we should welcome this in good faith. Okay, I think we should welcome this in good faith so that we'll be able to have a progressive country. Yeah.
Right. Lastly, your words, Mr. Mutali.
Yes, so just to add to what he said, every institution is run on professionalism. That's why even if you are a lecturer of IT, maybe let's say in cyber security and what have you, in some institutions you can't be taken or you can't be recruited as cyber security personnel because you are not a professional in that, even though you teaches them, but you are not a professional in that. For example, a lecturer who teaches what's the name, lab technicians cannot practice in a lab because he doesn't have license. So you may have the technical know-how, but if you don't have the license, you cannot operate. And you know why that is necessary? So that people don't just get up and do anything anyhow. For example, you are an electrician, then you come to wire my place because you don't have license. You know, license, it covers a lot of things. Sometimes when you have license, you go through insurance. So if you wire my place and then there is an outbreak through that maybe improper connection, you can still reconnect it for me using your what's the name, your insurance that you have through your license. So it is very perfect, and I expect that I know that if this one gets to Parliament, the minority is going to do very fast with it. They don't have problem because it's going to help the country, but not situation where people decide to change something to suit themselves.
Your last words, Mr. Saki.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much. And I think our program here has been very, very educative. All that I want to say that we should keep hope alive. Okay, we should keep hope alive. Everything is going to be well. I will continue to say this. NDC is not a perfect political party that we have. We are still learning. Whenever issues comes, we are not going to push it to anybody. And we also encourage our leaders. We want to hear more about the oral. Seriously, we want to hear more.
Oral is dead.
We are going to hear more. Definitely.
Oral is dead.
Campaign is also waiting for us. What are we going to tell our people? So we should try and give good accountability to our people. We should be fair enough because Ghanaians voted for us. Okay, so what I want to say is that we wish everybody nothing but the best.
Yeah, I think there's one thing that I need to commend you about. I like for the fact that in as much as you are an NDC communicator, you are very objective and very honest in your communication. Unlike some communicators that they communicate for a particular party, but if they
like NDC, no particular party.
If the party is doing something wrong and inward, you know that they are doing something wrong, they will not say it.
Defend it.
They will support them.
That's their character.
We had instances we heard from, is it Salam Mustafa, who said they are going to weaponize the youth. Some of their communicators
came here defending
it that it was good, they said, but if they were should weaponize those people, you'll be the first people to be running. You see the way the people are living in Boko. You want to be living like that. Your last words.
Well, I think just as you said, I'm sure you learned it from him because when he started, I commended him that he was honest to the good people of this country and then the listeners, and that is what I like, and that has been us. But I'm saying, what has always been my point is that if you think that there is something that is good for somebody, you should accept it yourself.
Sure.
So you don't think that something is bad for somebody, then something is good for somebody, and you think that it's bad for you. However, if my brother is calling on aura, I will amplify that voice. We're all thinking that the NDC is coming to do something magic in this aura, but the way they are running the system, there is some level of disbelief in it. Because even the Anan issue, Sarin Said, the Deputy Attorney General, was disgraced and embarrassed in court the other time. You went with a witness this document without sign. Deputy Attorney General, this is serious issue we are going to talk about. Case management level. So that one, when you do that, there's no confidence that you give to the good people of this country. But why wasn't it signed? It's a day that we have to find to discuss that. But lastly, I want to say that the NDC, they know sometimes they deliberately don't want to help us because the General Secretary agreed, so the General Chairman agreed that there were some people who cannot help them to win elections. But I think that the people can help the whole country to run. That is the problem we have in this country. So this country, if we want to move forward, we should bring back the MPP, make His Excellency Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia as our president, and then we have a perfect run. So I don't see why somebody cannot manage small group of people but can manage the whole nation.
Thank you so much for joining us on the GhanaTalks Breakfast Show. We had such an insightful conversation right here. We'll meet same time tomorrow. Do have a lovely day.